Isaiah chapter 58 and verse 1. Cry aloud, spare not, lift up thy voice like a trumpet, and show my people their transgressions, and the house of Jacob their sins.
Copyright disclaimer. This content does not belong to Bible Chronicles or claim this intellectual property. The content provided today has and always will belong to the content owner. Bible Chronicles does not have any affiliation with the owner of this property. As mentioned, Bible Chronicles did not intend to make use of any material for the purpose of harvesting gain. However, Title 17 of United States copyright law states material in use can only be done when it's for theological or general educational purposes, and thus Bible Chronicles believes that this principal material falls under fair use, which honors protection under Section 107 of the same U.S. copyright law.
El autor viene a decirnos con mucha firmeza y gran convencimiento lo mismo que nos decía en el siglo XVIII el barón de Holbach, ¿no? Un filósofo francés de origen alemán. Si nos remontamos al comienzo, entonces hallaremos que la ignorancia y el temor crearon a los dioses. La fantasía, el entusiasmo o el engaño los adornaron o desfiguraron. La debilidad les rinde culto, la credulidad los conserva, la costumbre los respeta y la tiranía los apoya para que la ceguera de los hombres sirva a sus propios intereses.
Okay, man. Here we go. Appreciate you guys being here. What up, bro? Let me go through this real quick. Stop stealing our history, you damn wobbles. Hey, you're gonna find out. It's crazy, bro. And this is why I wasn't hesitating on this. I'm gonna try to be as kind of like in and out as much as I can, but I want to show you. This is reflection time. You see, hold on. Let me turn this down on the side because I try to monitor this to make sure it sounds good. Okay, so I know the sound's working. Perfect. There's this movie that had come out, a couple years back, family. Kind of forever. And it diluted the minds of many that were already diluted, and then it put an impression upon the others that like, hey, what do they mean by that? Somehow, some way. As a matter of fact, let me just say this, okay? Let me just go through it again. What's up, bro? How you doing? What's up, bro? Shalom. Buenos tardes. Sup, fam? Y'all got your fringes on? Ak. Will be revealed. Of course, I got my fringes under the curses. Ak. It's funny, man. Hey, what's up, Kwam? Okay, so let me oh shoot, I accidentally clicked on it. Might as well read it. 2 Corinthians, here's Corinthians. 2 Corinthians. Yeah, I'll go here. 2 Corinthians 3:18. But we all, with open face, beholding as in a glass the glory of the Lord. She's not very clear. Are changed in the same image from glory to glory, even as by the Spirit. So let me show you guys something. It says, and all of us, I should say, then reflect the glory of the Lord with uncovered faces. See that? And I'm going to say something. With uncovered faces also means with a clear conscience. That you're not, there's no vanity behind your interest in the Most High. No. It's a sincere, uncovered face. No facade, man. No facade. No mask. No fake shit. Nothing. All real. Relative. Relative is part of real. People seem to forget that. They say it's all relative. You mean it's all real? Now they think relative is just, it's all fake. And the same glory coming from the Lord, who is the Spirit, transforms us into his likeness in an ever greater degree of glory. Has nothing to do with the outside appearance, family, at all. Thank you for that, bro. Hopefully that's why you put that up. Because you know what, man? I'm actually glad you did. Let me see if it precepts on something that I'm thinking. Maybe it won't. So you guys, no, it didn't. Okay, well, it's in the same line. It's in the same line, family. You want to know why? Because of this. Ecclesiastes 12, verse 13. Okay. Well, hold on. Verse 10. I'm sorry. Where are you? Come on, man. I can't believe this. Oh, my bad. That's why. I'm so used to seeing it a certain way. But then now I'm going to get the translation. Okay. So Ecclesiastes 12 and 13. It's all relative. Let us hear the conclusion of the whole matter. Fear God and keep his commandments, for this is the whole duty of man. Now, apparently, some of you guys don't want that. No, you want to have covered faces. You want to have an image or this so high of intellectual understanding, and like you want to go deep on. Listen, I may show you history, but I don't go deep on these scriptures. I'm gonna tell you why. The wisest man to ever live wrote this here. After all this, there's only one thing to say. Have reverence for God and obey his commandments. Christians, hello. Vocab, hey. Because this is all that we were created for. Here, I'll give you another nice one too. I like this. Everything you were taught can be put into a few words. You see this, family? Everything into a few words. Respect and obey God. It's not complicated. That is what life is all about. This is what life is all about. But here we have a bunch of reaching ass mofos. I don't know. Me personally, I don't understand them. But today I'm going to remind you of your glory. In your patience possess ye your soul. And you're going to see how just the same shit they were, excuse my language, but I'm going to say the same shit they were talking about us, like underwater Mexicans. Remember that? Remember that? You remember that, right? When these West Africans started saying, like racist shit underwater Mexicans, and no white man said nothing. No, that's okay. That's completely, basically, wetback. In other words, what if I say, oh, you know those Negroes on trees? Right? Don't believe the hype. They're not trying to say, oh, no. Because what I see, like my brother, and we spoke briefly. Thank you, bro. Excellent scripture to start with. Micah 2:2. You grab any field or house you want, that you cheat families out of the house and land. Let me read it again. They covet fields, and they take by violence, and houses, and they take them away. So they oppress a man in his house, even a man in his heritage. Watch this. Therefore, thus say the Lord, behold, against this family do I devise an evil. Why? Because they devised evil. I'm going to show you right now, man. Verse 1, woe to them that devise iniquity. Iniquity is also misleading individuals in believing something they're not. And you are part of the cheerleading team, so-called Wakandans. Who financed that movie? Yes, those Khazars. So we know real well that you guys love to be in bed. Oh, yes, you do. You definitely do. That's without a doubt. Oh, don't believe the hype. Don't believe the hype, family. Do not believe Nate the Snake as if they're not his homies. They covet fields and take them by violence, and houses and take them away. So they oppress a man in his house, even a man in his heritage. They oppress a man, his house, even a man in his heritage. What are they devising? Iniquity. This is iniquity right here. You tell us that, oh, no, now you are the natives of this land? Oh, no, hold on. Now they got some other West African or whatever the hell you are. Now he's saying this is the original Egypt. Oh, and the pyramids. Oh, yeah, and those Mexicans didn't build that. They were savages. Again, I find it very striking that you people who supposedly read the Bible, and you see the smartest man in the entire ever to live, supposedly, on this land, on this world, Solomon. He wrote Proverbs. He wrote Ecclesiastes. All of that wisdom, he said in a nutshell, none of it matters. None of it. None of it matters. So all going deep on this science and numbers and balancing and history, and this is Egypt, this is the old world, and hey, look, they were black. Y'all are stupid. You guys think you're smarter than Solomon, and Solomon summarized it. I didn't have to do all that. Look what I did with the knowledge. I ended up having a bunch of bitches and hoes, because that's exactly what happened. That's all he ended up having. A bunch of women that misled him to believe something that he was not. Yeah. When you fall from the Most High and believe other gods, you at that moment are rebellious and you become a witch. You become your own God. He gave no reference to the Father. It was very simple. But you guys want to go far on these so-called historical ideas and findings and look. Oh, yeah, we created this and we created that. And then all of a sudden, me, my stupid ass beaner way, open up a book and start reading for the first time in my life. And then I find out that Wakanda doesn't even belong to Negroes. Bro, come on, man. Seriously, bro. No, Wakanda does not belong to black people. Sorry to tell you there, Afro Puff. And you know who I'm talking about, Dr. whatever Umar? I'm specially reaching at you. Oh, I'm gonna smack you around today with your so-called degree. You ended up owing money, and it didn't lead you nowhere else, but just a fool-headedness of stupidity. That's all it is. That's all it is. Let's continue. Love this scripture, bro. Thank you so much, man, that you actually had a chance. That was the Most High, bro. I'll go for that. Good, woe to them that devise iniquity. Like which kind? Trying to take your heritage away. Trying to say that they're now the people of this land. Oh, all of a sudden now we were brought here on ships. Oh, wait. But the Bible doesn't apply to us. Make it make sense. Work evil upon their beds. Why? Those two are sleeping together. The Khazars and the Negroes. Oh, you damn right they are. Who do you think the Boulets are belonging to? Freemasonry, Eastern Star, those white lilies. You guys forget that? Remember I did a class on the whole historical African, seven God shit? It's connected to Islam. Oh, you think I'm going far? I proved it in so many classes. Oh, yeah. Hey, where's that school? Damn dumb swindler. Hey, but you know what? You're not swindling our gente. I mean, unless you stupid people are, but then that's your fault. That's your fault. Woe to them that devise iniquity and work evil upon their beds. Who finances these movies? Who financed the so-called movie, The Great Debate, and gave us this false narrative that Willie Lynch was real? Who gave him the money? Who gave you the money for Wakanda? Or did you not do the homework on Wakanda? Because it didn't take me long to start looking at it, and I'm like, wait a minute, that's our shit. So you talk crap about our people, about being in the movie, when it doesn't even relate the name to us. But now I know why it was meant that way. That's a hint, family. Wakanda applies to you. Wakanda never applied to Negroes. And I'm going to show you how. So let's continue. Let's keep making fun of these people here. Y'all are a joke. Keep laying in your beds. Stay asleep. Go ahead. Ask for reparations. I don't give a damn because I know what we're getting back. When the morning is light, they practice it because it is in the power of their hand. How? Remember, I showed you the video last class, and then they considered this the new Jerusalem, the new promised land. It wasn't just them. It wasn't just the white folks. It wasn't just the British gringos, the Europeans. No, not them. Khazars, too. The financiers. And then who used the muscle? We know it now. And they covered fields. Since 1848, how did they get all these lands? You started seeing a bunch of people moving to the west, and they didn't give a damn about our people. No. So that whole 1865 bullshit that, it wasn't because of us, you guys wouldn't be having rights. No, actually, that made it worse for us. That made it worse because after 1865, you took our land from us. I mean, in 1848. In 1865, the land was already taken from us. What the hell did you guys do for us? It made it worse. Because then, all of a sudden now, blacks and whites for sure are going to vote. And you Mexicans, hell nah. Get in the back, beaners. That's the way it works in America. These are the people that practice it day and night because it's in their power. It is in their might to do what? They covet the fields and take by violence, whether mental, spiritual, especially physical. What are they doing now? Passing laws in Texas and Florida, which took white and black people too, to oppress our people, to take their houses and take them away. Because if you bought a house, let's say you didn't have papers, because at that point, remember, you guys forget about this, that back in 2004, people without papers were buying houses. You guys forget? And you think all of them lost them? No, some of them kept them. But guess what? Guess who got them just back? If those people did not get their papers fixed within, let's say, a 20-year gap, so to speak, I don't know. Guess what? They took that property back. You think I'm blind? And take them away and oppress a man in his house, even a man and his heritage. This whole land that we're sitting on here was never a Wedo land or a Negro land. Take that to the bank. You damn right. Check this out. Let's start looking at some examples here. Okay? Let's keep going. Matter of fact, see this idiot right here. This stupid idiot right here. And there's several of you that actually watch this guy. You believe what he says. So in this class or in this show, like Chicloso likes to consider it, I at least am willing to show you some facts, not just talk by strangers from other lands that are not from this continent. How is it that you come here and all of a sudden you gain this whole understanding? Go back to your country, to your continent, and see if you can figure them out. They need more help than we do.
Who built it? The Olmecs and Thoth, the Atlantean priest king.
I'm glad there was
the Mayans inherited what was already there. The Mayans themselves didn't even know who built it, so they named them Teotihuacans. That's why the Mayans were such a brutal, dark race of people. You see that they would be ripping the hearts out of people's chests and hoping that gods can make it rain by killing virgins and all this crazy stuff. But then they can build pyramids and technological advancements like this. No, they were just barbaric people that stumbled across high tech and lived and moved in. I think 180 years after that, the Aztecs, who were living miles away in a valley, lost their valley due to a volcanic eruption. They had to migrate. They stumbled across Teotihuacan. They said, damn, the Mayans are gone. We're going to move in now. Then they moved on and inherited everything that was already there. The Mayans built nothing. The Aztecs built nothing. Who built it? The Olmecs and
Oh, dear Jesus.
both the Atlantean priests.
You see, family? They say, now the Negroes say they built the pyramids. Hey, Negroes, why don't you build a house? Why don't you build a house? Start with that first. Show us that you can, as a team, as an like as a company, build one house. And then maybe we'll listen to you about the pyramids. But anyways, family, again, they covet fields. They know how valuable your history is. They know how important you are. And they know that what they have compared to what we have, it is what it is. You can sing and dance all you want. I don't give a shit. You still got to come to the land and physically take that shit. And that's how we're going to know who the real people of this land is.
King, also known as Tahuti, Jehudi, but also over there he was known as Quetzalcoatl, Lord Pakal, Kukulkan, Viracocha, many names, but the same person. The Mayans in.
See what I'm saying, family? So they put, again, but you know what? We got some dumb of our gente that believe this shit. Listen, Micah 2:2, bro, beautiful scripture to start with, man. Damn, that's great, bro. And they covet fields and take them by violence, and houses and take them away. So they oppress a man in his house. Listen, you already took our land, okay? You already came from Europe, took what wasn't belonging to you in the first place, all right? You already did that. Then you start passing these laws and make us illegal aliens, all right? So you oppress a man in his house. And now, even a man in his heritage, man, you must be outside your fucking mind. You must be outside that woolly fake-ass story that you gave us of Revelation 1 and 14. That's another stupidity one. Hey, Brother Al, if you got that scripture, man, show it. I don't remember it. I think you said it was Isaiah something, right? Isaiah or Jeremiah, something like that. I can't remember what call. It's like, dude, bro, for real, man. Let's continue. Again, they covet. Here, I'm going to move this over here because I can read it while this is playing. They covet houses. Okay? They covet houses, family. Right here, you see it right here. Look at this. Let me turn this video down because it's just songs. It's just music. See? So now, these people, see, now they're the Mexicans of the Bible. They're the Mexicans now. Holy shit! What the hell? You believe this? So these guys are Mexicans now. Again, what are they doing? Look. They covet fields. They take them by violence and houses and take them away. The white man and you already took a bunch of our territory. And take them away. And so they oppress a man in his house. You pass laws after laws to enslave and oppress and separate our family, our children from their parents. Even a man in his heritage. Now you want to be fucking Mexicans, bro? You guys have absolute... Look, by the way, those are not even... Oh, my God. I've proven to you guys what this is, by the way. Let me speed it up, because I ain't got no patience with this. This is worse than Ebonics. Also, by the way, they're not looking at the heads. They're just looking at the color, even though they don't realize that That's considered mourning. Priests are mourning. Anyhow, let's continue to watch the stupidity. Again, therefore, thus say the Lord, behold, against this family do I devise an evil from which ye shall not remove your necks, neither shall you go hotly, for this time is evil. This is evil. Revelation 3:9, like I told you. Khazars want to be so-called Jews, right? Negroes want to be so-called Jews, right? Whose heritage are they taking? Didn't the Khazars come to this land as a promised land? We've read that they knew exactly who we were. They knew we were keeping the customs. But what did they say? Nah, don't worry about it. Oh, these guys are black people now? No, I'm sorry. So what am I, man? Oh, that's right, I'm Mongolian. Yet Mongolian, so-called, supposedly a derogatory name, right? They don't have any of our customs or diet or any of that. This is what's really going on, family, right here. You see this? So now they're saying, those are not you. Did you ever think that it would come to this? Did you ever think that it would come to that? Isaiah 118, come now and let us reason together, say the Lord. Though your sins be as scarlet, they shall be as white as snow. Though they be red like crimson, they should be as wool. There's another one that says snow like wool. That's clean. Because snow is extremely white, bright. Like bright white. You see this here? The light-skinned Central and South Americans we see today are nothing but mixed races. When the white Europeans conquered America, many native black men were killed and their women raped. The descendants of the offspring born as a result of rape or intermarriage are light-skinned Native Americans we see today. The native black Central and South American descendants of Ham, the youngest son of Noah, the descendants of Ham are commonly known as Hamites. The Hamites built many great empires all over the world, comparable to none. They dominated the world until you... Wait, hold on a second. Are you just giving yourself up right now? Did they just call themselves Canaanites? My God, you guys are fucking dumb. Oh, my dear Jesus. This is getting better. The native black Central and South Americans are descendants of Ham, the youngest son of Noah, and the descendants of Ham are commonly known as Hamites. The Hamites built many great empires all over the world, comparable to none. They dominated the world for many years until the time of their decline. You hear this? You guys hear this? You guys hear this? There's the other one. Thank you, bro. Psalms 147. That's it. He giveth snow like wool. Hello. He scattereth the hoar frost like ashes. Snow like wool. Did the guy in Revelation 1:14, the Negro, did he have snow on his head? He should be shivering. Well, or no, it would have been melting, wouldn't it? Because he was like on fire. But wait, so what are you saying, man? Like, so you're Mexicans, but then Mexicans are Hamites? So Hamites built these... You believe this, family? I'm not lying. But a lot of you guys are asleep. A lot of you guys are asleep. You guys think this is funny. You guys, look, listen, it's no different for you that like supposedly into these 12 type chart stuff, right? It's no different that you were showing. Hey, mama. Thank you. It's no different. Thanks, honey. It's no different than when somebody's over here trying to supposedly tell you that they're the real people of the Bible. And let's say you are. No, they don't even know one, bro. Yo, bro. What's up, bro? Well, hold on a second. What did I say? Stop. Black Yahushai up there sipping red wine. We'll crack this guy open and come down and with him red eyes. You forgot the song. No, you forgot. He's gonna come down in a purple and gold plane, right? Gin and juice, lay back with my mom on my money and my money on my mind. That's what he says. Let's continue. Oh, there's more. But hold on a second. You know what? I want to show you this real quick. Because as I'm sharing Micah 2, right? I do recall this. If you remember, way back then, right? It says, Exodus 1:10, come, let us deal wisely with them, lest they multiply. Are we not doing that now? Who is growing the most in America? We are. Let us deal with them wisely, lest they multiply and find out who they are, according to the Bible. And it shall come to pass that when there falleth out of any war, they join also unto our enemies and fight against us, and so get them up out of the land. So what do? They bring idiots, people in media, these talking heads with wool. What did they do? Therefore, did they set over them taskmasters to afflict them? The same sellouts that we got in Central or South or in Mexico? You punk asses are going to pay for sucking the wells of these dumbass idiots. Or you that are in these 12-type chart rooms. Y'all are stupid. You came out of his nuts, bro. That's what you guys are saying, that you are their sperm. I don't know why you don't wrap that around your mind. Therefore, they set over them taskmasters to afflict them with their burdens. Oh, you know what? You're light-skinned. You're a mix. Maybe the Most High. Maybe you ain't Israel. You know what I mean? I mean, maybe you got to marry into that family, so then you may get salvation. You realize, excuse me, we got sisters in there getting married to these West Africans because they think that the woolly hair is going to help them. The nerve of them. The stupidity. The stupidity. Isaiah 3:12. As for my people, children are their oppressors. Yeah, these men are dumb. They're like kids. You know, they're like kids. They think like kids. They're not men. They think like kids. And women rule over them. Oh, my people. Women, you know, those Canaanites. Very emotional people. Oh, my people, they which lead thee, cause thee to err and destroy the path. Those are not lies. Check this out. Jeremiah 14:2. Judah mourneth, her gates languish, her people lament on the ground, and they cry to up Jerusalem, and the cry of Jerusalem goes up. You see that? It was mourning. It wasn't color. Like, for example, those pictures they were showing. That's what they do. They call them themselves. It's called mourning. But hey, what do I know, right? But like they did it before, they're gonna do it again. Check this out. I'll show you. Look, even I'll give you one example. One example in the New Testament. It's way back. Watch this real quick. It says here, now the next Matthew 22:27-62. Okay, watch this. Excuse me. And remember, secrets are revealed to the sons of the Most High. I didn't go to college. I didn't do very well in school. I hardly knew how to read in English. I didn't like reading. You know, DUI after DUI after DUI. You know, I'm a clean citizen now. Thank you very much. Appreciate that, all Father. But I don't deserve to be in this situation, this position. To know this, I don't deserve it. But I'm glad that I know, because now I learned to love our heritage and my gente, and I've learned to become a man. Matthew 27:62. And now the next day that followed the day of the preparation, the chief priests and Pharisees came together unto Pilate, saying, Sir, like sometimes I get actually flagged on YouTube now. We remember that the deceiver said, remember what they said about, I remember when I left Purple and Gold, I was the deceiver. Like, I was wrong. I was bugging out. No, I'm wrong, man. You're bugging out. And I'm like, bro, I'm seeing history. Like, it's not lying. No. They decided to close their eyes. Okay? They're still banging on the white man, even though the black guy that's sitting next to them was there raping their girl while the white man was over there passing laws since 1492. You want me to lie? I'm not going to lie. Shit. Hey, man, the scripture that says, Peter, I believe, I have it. That's right. I have it. I'll read it later. Let me continue. Saying, sir, we remember that deceiver said, yeah, they called me a liar, that I'm a heathen, that I'm a liar. I'm lying. I'm just a racist. Okay. while he was yet alive, after 3 days, I will rise again. The deceiver said that, right? But here's an example. Command, therefore, that the sepulchre be made sure until the 3rd day, lest his disciples come by night and steal him away and say unto the people, he is risen from the dead, so the last error shall be worse than the first. Pilate said unto them, do you have a watch? Go your way and make it sure as ye can. So they went, plotting, making sure that, hey, listen, I don't know if it's true or not, but even if it is, I don't give a shit. That's what they said. The priest, the chief priest, Sakari, Mr. Pharisee. Zephaniah 3:13. Let me get that real quick, bro. What you got? Let's see. Zephaniah 3:13. The remnant of Israel shall not do iniquity, nor speak lies. See, there you go right there. Beautiful, bro. There's no need to mislead. There's no need to mislead. Neither shall a deceitful tongue be found in their mouths. Why? Because we either are Israel or we're not. It's like you're either pregnant or you're not. You're not half-ass pregnant. You can't be half pregnant. You're either pregnant or you're not. My dad used to say that. Neither shall be a deceitful tongue be found in their mouths, for they shall feed and lie down, and none shall make them afraid. Meaning that I speak and I'm not worried about, oh, they're going to catch me. I got nothing to hide. They got nothing to hide. I'm showing truth. That's it. I'm showing our history. Whatever truth you want to listen to, whatever, that's up to you. You want to keep listening to these strangers from afar, from the end of the earth, who flew like eagles? Both of them did, together. That's why they're here still. That's why they're passing laws, looking at you like you ain't shit. Jeremiah 11:19. But I was like a lamb or an ox that is brought to the slaughter, and I knew not that they had deceived devices against me. Like, I didn't know they were really gonna go this far. Now they're gonna say now y'all are Mexicans, bro. Now you negros are Mexicans. I wonder how they would feel if one of them went to jail, and they go and tell Raza, we're the real Mexicans, or they go tell the African, whatever they call themselves, gorillas. That's what they said. That's not me. That's what they said. And they knew not that they had devices. Damn, devices, man, like triple wickedness against me, saying, let us destroy the tree with the fruit thereof. Now I'm going to tell you something, family. There's no other nation in the world that when they deal with you, they say, bro, I'm gonna be real. I work with, this other people, man, but there's nothing like raza. They're just different. When people go to South Central America or Mexico or like one of our nice areas where it's not nice in regards to clean, just where our people are, they fall in love with the gente. Let us destroy the tree with the fruit thereof. They don't want that to come out of us. They don't want that. And let us cut him off from the land of the living, meaning our heritage, that his name may be no more remembered. Now, we didn't even build the pyramids. Family. Okay? That's what they're saying now. So we're just savages. The white man said it. Now you got a black guy saying it. We're savages. Proverbs 1:12, let us swallow them up alive as the grave, and whole as those that go down into the pit. We shall find all precious substance. We shall fill our houses with spoils. This is what they said. Cast in thy lot among us. Let us all have one purse. This is what they agreed upon. This is, in reality, Psalms 83, to be quite frank with you. To be frank with you, this is Psalms 83. It literally says right here clearly, let us swallow them up alive as a grave, and whole as those that go down into the pit, dead. Revelation 11:8. We shall find all precious substance. Why? Because once we're gone or not thinking of how valuable we are, that's why they call themselves African American or American. And we're illegals in our own land. Now we're not even from this land. So they enslaved you, supposedly. You come here and you find out that you're from this land? I don't understand that. I don't understand that. Let me give you another example, and I got something to read to you. Acts 4:13. Now, when they saw the boldness of Peter and John and perceived that they were unlearned and ignorant men, which is what they say about me. Convener. I'm unlearned. You're right, I am. They marveled, and they took knowledge of them that they had been with Jesus. And beholding the man which was healed standing with them, they could say nothing against. But when they had commanded them to go aside out of the council, they conferred among themselves, watch this, saying, what shall we do with these men? Tell what, you know what, just, as a matter of fact, don't even worry about Bible Chronicles, bro. Don't even pay attention to them. Just, whatever, dude, just ignore him. If we ignore him, everybody's good. Ephesians 4:25, wherefore putting us away lying, speak every man truth with his neighbor, for as we are members one of another. That is exactly the point. But what shall we do about this guy? Just ignore him. As long as you ignore him and don't bring attention, you're fine. You see what goes on with this channel. You telling me only so many views, only a few views? Almost 400 videos, family. In almost less than 2 years. 400 videos. Non-stop information. I mean, obviously I show it often, but new things coming out all the time. And yet, only a few subscribers? Compared to that got like 1,000 or 2,000 or even like more than me, like, right? And they don't even have nothing. It's all fake. Let's continue. For indeed, a notable miracle had been done by them is manifest to all them that dwell in Jerusalem, or Yahushalom. And we cannot deny it. This is why I'm saying, family, they can't deny this at all. I'm bringing constant material without trying to show, with no narrative, just showing you what I'm reading and constantly showing who we are according to the Bible. And not only that, we act the part. Like we actually are living that right now. People can say all you want, man. Go ahead and paint the picture as best as you can, but the actions in your people speak louder. Highest abortion rate, highest pornography, highest promiscuousness, highest arrest, highest robberies. Like it just goes on and on and on. And it has nothing to do with slavery. No, it's a spirit of Canaan. But that it spread no further among the people. Let us straightly threaten them that they speak henceforth to no man in this name. So you'll see that this is going to happen. Once other brothers start catching on, which I actually had a couple brothers reach out to me today and yesterday. Amazing. All praise, all glory. My goal is to be the stepping stone. If they think I'm something, wait till the other brother that's supposed to wake up, who's got more power, more ways, more teaching. This is just the beginning. And it's gonna be like water. Like once it opens, let me tell you something, family. You know, I used to live in San Diego, right? If you guys find out, like San Diego got flooded like crazy. It's never been flooded like that before. Ever. Times are changing. And they called them and commanded them not to speak at all, nor teach the name of Jesus. But the unlearned, but Peter and John answered and said unto them, whether it be right in the sight of God to hearken unto you more than unto God, judge ye, meaning you decide. You think am I supposed to listen to men or listen to the Most High? For we cannot but speak the things which we have seen and heard. We have seen and heard these things, right? I'll give you an example. We read this before. These wobbles here, apparently don't know how to read James the Deer. He clearly says, yeah, they're copper color, red color, sure. They and they delight in everything which they imagine may promote and increase it. You see that? You see that? This book, excuse me, sorry. The history of the American Indians, particularly those nations, adjusting to, you can see the style of writing of James the Deer. What year is that? I'm going to try one for that. Let me find out. Let me see. 1776. Okay. Now let's go. So they're copper color. They delight, listen, the Indians are of a copper color, of a copper or red clay color, and they delight in everything which they imagine may promote and increase it. You guys cannot promote nor increase your color. You're either blackety black or wackety white. You light-skinned ones, like, the twins, they can't tan. They cannot get darker. They'll get redder. Guarantee you. We, however, can get lighter and darker throughout the season, depending on whether I'm in the sun more or not. If you can see, when I wear sandals, you'll see the clear distinction that I'm light-skinned and also dark-skinned. So anyways, let's continue. I don't even have to. You guys already know. All the Indians are strong attached to and prejudiced in favor of their own color that they think as meanly of the whites as we possibly can do of them. The English trader among them experience much of it and are often very glad to be allowed to pass on muster with the Indian chieftain as a fellow brethren of the human species. Okay? So we know in this book here, it talks about several things. Like what they look like, the hotter the colder the hotter or colder the climate is, where the Indians have long resided, the greater proportion they have either of red, white, or color. Hey, Adam, you know what the saddest part is about this whole thing, bro, is that even though we teach information, we provide it for our people, they still don't want to fucking read it. I just don't understand. Sometimes there's a little bit of wanting to give up, but I feel like eventually it's going to fucking break through. You know what I'm saying? Like eventually. But I feel you, brother. I feel you. This is degrading, man. They got fucking 12 try chart believing bullshit, bro. These fucking people from West Africa go to these other channels that are totally African main driven, chill out with them, talk shit, whatever, hang out. They don't do that to no so-called Hispanic, so-called raza channel. You guys don't fucking notice that shit? Don't tell me about lies, bro. I'm over that shit. Did you guys forget to read this? It's in page 2. I took particular notice of the Shawano Indians as they were passing by the northward within 50 miles of the Chickasaw country to that of the Creeks. And by comparing them with the Indians which I accompanied to their camp, I observed that the Shawano to be much fairer than the Chickasaw. You guys always bring these pictures of blackety black people. How come you don't show the light-skinned ones? Oh, porque no te conviene, ¿verdad, pendejo? No te conviene, güey. Matter of fact, hold on. Let me slow down a bit. Sorry, family. I've been kind of going a little fast, right? Let's see what you got, bro. That 12 chart, stupid. How did we get shorter if we came from these people? Yeah, exactly, bro. Oh, because you mix with white people, but white people are taller than us. Oh, because you mix with Asians. Well, there's Asians that are taller than us, too. It's funny, dude. Oh, man, this gets crazy. Give me a second. Sorry, hold on. I'm a little hungry, family. I've been working all day. All right. It says that the Indian color is merely accidental or artificial appears pretty evident. So let's Let's examine that for a second. That the Indian color is merely accidental or artificial appears pretty evident. Weird, huh? Let me continue looking through here. It's because they are pseudoscientists that the white people they claim to hate so much. Yeah, they love them, bro. They love the green guy. Like the white people they claim to hate so much. Excuse the typo. Ah, you're good, bro. Hey, you don't have to excuse yourself, dude. Don't even trip. Proverbs 25:2, it says, "It is the glory of God to conceal a thing, but the honor of kings is to search out the matter." Beautiful. Hey man, you in this? Hey, yeah, you're in the scriptures, bro. That's good, man. Hey, brothers, you guys got to pay attention. Seriously, man. Start being mindful. That's how you communicate. It says, "They will do no wrong. They will tell no lies. A deceitful tongue will not be found in their mouths. They will eat, lie down, and none will make them afraid." Oh, I see what you mean. Yeah. Yeah, you could see the translation's a little awkward on a couple multiple levels on that one, but it's all good. Eurocentrics say we came from an ape nutsack. Yep. Afrocentrics say we came. Hey, that's that's kind of funny, right? That's good. Hey, that's good, bro. Holy moly. That's actually a good thought. Chew on that for a second. The irony of that shit, right? The irony, think about it. The irony. Eurocentrics say we came from apes. Nutsack, correct, right? Afrocentrics say we came out of theirs. Oh, that's funny. Man. Mm-hmm. Let me see. I hope that dude once told me, quote, when Pangea split happened, some black Egyptians stayed in South America. And that's how South and Central America got pyramids. I thought I heard it all. Yeah. Oh, yeah. The Greece used it because they wanted gun. They probably did. Greece. I wonder if that's where Cri came from, bro. I wonder if that's where it came from. That's funny. Let me see. I told you they won't debate you because it will destroy their Masonic One West doctrine. I feel sorry for our sisters who got with these loudmouth fools. Yeah, that's the sad part, bro. These deranged lunatics have enough to call Meshicha Issachar, when in reality those motherfuckers actually like wild like donkeys. Yeah, it's straight up. But even donkeys are not wild. I mean, I know what you mean. They're actually smart. So it's not, I'll give you an example. I didn't care if I was, matter of fact, if I was, it is a car, I wouldn't matter. I wouldn't care. Burros are very smart. The terminology of a burro is that you're hard-headed. That's what it means. A burro doesn't mean that you're dumb. It means you're hard-headed. Que no te mueves, güey. Like you're not willing to move. You know what I'm saying? So that's what it means. Yeah. Yeah, I think it's on your end, bro. I'm kind of going through the no more two nations. In that day shall the five cities in the land of Egypt speak the language of Canaan and swear to the Lord of hosts. One shall be called the city of destruction. Your name is of. It says, let me see. There are no vowels in the language of Canaan which we would speak in that day. No more two nations. It's true, my brother. It's true. No more two nations, man. That's very true. And that's exactly what we're showing now. I'm not saying separate from our people. No, come together to our gente, but know the difference. My wife asked me the other day, well, if it's not about the flesh, how do you know? I mean, obviously, family, it's a spiritual thing in reality, but it's not like open. Oh, okay, it's open for everybody. No, it's not like a spiritual Israel. Like he's searching for his children still, and his children are going to be the ones waking up. So it's not about phenotype or color because we mixed. But I'm going to tell you something. It's not about an African person either. I told you those are just facts. I had to tell you. Because which of the two nations are the ones trying to take away a heritage that doesn't, okay, just claiming a heritage that if they were, they're so far from. For example, Khazars, okay? They're claiming a heritage that we see historically they were converts. And then these guys here, they're claiming a heritage that we see historically they were also converts. Now the same people, now they're here in this land saying, we're the real Americans. This is promised land. Oh, and then black folks are saying, oh, and we built the pyramids. The Jew and the Negro. All over again. I don't know who else is doing it. I mean, you see the gringo, the gringos want to be us? Maybe the $5 ones. But they're not trying to be us, bro. The British, nah, they ain't trying to be us, man. They want to be them. You see the difference, family. Not everybody is the same tribe. That's it. Besides their rights, or their customs, as well as we shall presently see, prove them to be Orientalist, meaning from the East, right? For example. And that's why they don't read James the Deer? I don't know. Did you skip that too? And the difference of color among the human species is one of the principal causes of separation, strife, and bloodshed. Would it not greatly to reflect on the goodness and justice of the divine being? Ignominiously to brand numerous tribes and their posterity with a color odious and hateful in the sight and opinion of those of a different color. Some writers have contended from the diversity of color that America was not peopled from any part of Asia or of the old world, meaning Africa too. But that the natives were a separate creation. This is what they say. Again, this is not my concern. All right, so let's move on. But check this out. Moreover, to form one creation of whites, a second creation of yellows, and a third for blacks is a weakness of which infinite wisdom is incapable. Here's to explain why. Because what we would do, here, watch this. I'm going to show you right here. An experience which is best medium to discover truth gives the true cause why this corpus naconsum or glued web is red in the Indians and white in us. The practicing wind and the hot sunbeams beating upon their naked bodies in their various gradations of life necessary tarnish their skin with a red tawny color. You see that? He's saying that they get a tan. They get a tan with the sun, a red tawny color. And to this, their constant anointing themselves with bear's oil or grease mixed with a certain red root. So they make the oil, make it red, which by a particular property is able alone in a few years of time to produce the Indian color in those who are white born. I mean, come on, man. What is that? I'm asking, family. I don't understand. Are they not reading what I'm reading? It clearly says that our gente was white and also brown. Not everybody tan, of course. Like my brother Chato, my brother Jaime, they don't have to tan. They're darkity dark. I got it. I'm the lightest one out of my family. My sister and I. Myself and my sister. Everybody else is, very brown. So, again, but anyhow, let's continue. Here, just to show you that even a white man in Pennsylvania, he did the same thing, and eventually he ended up being dark. So it's like you can tan, and you can see Weddles do that right now, okay? So this book is saying that we have the skin or the DNA of variety of colors. In case you guys don't understand DNA is it's a very complex, well, it's complex to explain. But from the way my wife explains it, it's like imagine a web, all right? So white and black folks, their DNA is not as intricate as ours. That's why when they have babies, they have typically black babies or typically white babies. Every now and then you get a sprinkle of a mixture, and they'll call them albinos, right? We don't call albinos like that. We can have dark-skinned babies. We can have light-skinned babies. You see what I'm saying? It's all relative. Hold on a second. From. Oh, I see. You believe in the 12-tribe chart. That's why you're here. I kind of thought so, but I wanted to give you the benefit of the doubt. Eventually, the spirit comes about. So, I mean, you posted it. You know what I'm saying? So, explain it. Do you believe in the 12-type chart? Blacks and Hispanics are the same? Because you're in the wrong channel if that's the case. We're not the same. At all. At all. 100% not the same. And if you like, we can go through a few things to show you. I will show you. I'm not trying to push away my gente, but there is a difference between being enslaved because that's just what you're bound to be, or because it's a real curse and you did something and you didn't listen to your father. Yeah, it's very clear. There's a big difference. White people were enslaved, Asians were enslaved, Arabs were enslaved. So they could kind of say they're part of the Bible, but not all of them can hit all Deuteronomy 28:68. Only we can. And as you can see, we come in varieties. It's not just blackety black. It says, we may easily conclude then that what is a fixed change of color, such as a constant method of life, would produce. For the color being once thoroughly established, nature would, as it were, forget herself, not to beget her own likeness. Besides, may we not suppose that the imagination can impress the immaculate at the time of copulation by its strong suitable power, with with at least such an external similitude as if we speak. So he's talking about, in a nutshell, let me read it again. So maybe you guys can, let me read it again, okay? It says, we may easily conclude then what a mixed change of color, such as constant method of life, would produce. Okay? So the change of color in our people. For the color being once thought by established, nature would, as if it were, forget herself, not to beget her own likeness. It's like, for example, if you're born dark, wouldn't you stay dark? So what they were saying is we were having babies, right? We were having babies, right? And some of them would be lighter skinned than us. Like, for example, like me. You know, my mom and my dad, my brothers, mis hermanos, you know, morenos, more like me, more than me. And then I come on, boom, like the sun, like, well, not the sun, but, you know, light skin. So it's like, that's what they're saying. Like, wait a minute. Wouldn't you suppose that they would create the likeness of themselves? Besides, may we not suppose that the imagination can impress the immaculate, I believe, in the time of copulation, by its strong, subtle power, with at least such an external similitude as we speak of? So watch this. The sacred oracles and the Christian registers, as well as Indian tradition, supports this sentiment. The color of Jacob's cattle resembled that of the peeled rod he placed before them in the time of conception. Interestingly, that they say Jacob's cattle. Okay? We have good authority of a Spanish lady who conceived and was delivered of a Negro child, a dark-skinned baby, by means of black pictures that hung on the wall opposed to the bed where she lay. There is a record among Chickasaw Indians that tell us of a white child with flaxen hair, born in their country, long before any white people appeared in the part of the world. Oh, no, man, no, it's not biblical. It was a dream. It was a dream. It was a dream. It was a dream from some guy that he said he saw in a vision, and that's the only shit. Listen, bro, don't. I'm gonna tell you right now, don't bring milk shit here. Do not bring milk. Trust me, man. That's not gonna work here. And the 12-type chart is not biblical. It was a dream, and they said it themselves. So it wasn't like he was studying the Bible, and then that was relevant to him. Then reverence came, like, oh, yeah, you're right. I found it. No. He had a dream. And And then he said, "Oh, I'm gonna match my dream with the scriptures." That's what happened. That's exactly what happened. He didn't study the scriptures and said, "Listen, family, I've been studying this for quite some time, and then in my vision, whatever, expanded upon it, whatever." No. Hold on a second. Well, not that one. No, it didn't do that. He had a dream, and then he said, "Oh shoot, let me interpret the dream like he's Daniel or some shit." No. Now, and maybe you don't know the history that they went through and we went through, but it's not the same. Not at all. Not one bit. So you may assume, but it wasn't anything. The problem with people in America is that they only teach you guys what they want to show you. You got to expand those books beyond that, way beyond that. See, so let me guess. You guys like to ask this question: are you Hispanic or so-called African? That's going to tell us everything. That's going to tell us everything. That's what I'm trying to ask. Like, I kind of think he thinks he is. So let him speak for himself. Anyhow, as we can see, as American Indians are of a reddish copper color, so in general are they strong. Copper color, right? And that's all they read. As American Indians are reddish copper color. That's all they read. They read nothing else. Colomiados, that's all you did. You read nothing else. So now let's skip to the page. Let me show you something. Oh, wait. Let me not forget. Look. This page 6. The former are a comely, pleasant-looking people. Their faces are tolerably round, contrary to the visage of the others, which incline much to flatness. As in the case of most of the other Indian Americans, the lips of the Indians, okay? The lips of the Indians, in general, are thin. Family, I'm going to tell you something. I like music. You guys know that, right? So there's groups I listen to all across the world. And, there's a couple groups that I listen to, and they're from Spain, okay? I play them every now and then. Check it out. Most of them have, like, thick lips, man. Most of them have thick lips. Thicker than me. You know me. You see me. I don't have thick lips. I got thin lips. So, me personally, I've never seen a so-called African of the west side of Africa have thin lips, unless they were with white people. Okay, let's continue. Yeah, I kind of figured you weren't going to be honest about your color, man. Saying your color of the penny. By the way, that's not bronze. Copper is not bronze. I just want to tell you that, okay? In case you don't know. Let's read this real quick. Some ancient. Oh, here, let me show you this. This is so true. Just like Candace Owens, you know what I mean? Just like Candace Owens, man. Just like Candace Owens. They love to assume that they know us. Like, listen, let me tell you something, man. And no other nation going to tell us who we are from this point moving forward. No other nation at all. You're not going to try to tell us that we're of African descent, because that's what you believe, that we came out of your nutsack. Here, I'll show you. I'll show you what you believe in, okay? Again, man, first you guys got to really, really sit back and understand what you're doing when you're coming to this channel and saying those things. Here's what they teach. 1 Corinthians 15:50. Now this I say, brethren, that flesh and blood cannot inherit the kingdom of God, neither do corruption inherit incorruption. Because if you believe this doctrine, then you're still in the 12-type chart, regardless of whether you're in a camp or not. It says here, for flesh and blood cannot inherit the kingdom of God, neither doth corruption inherit incorruption. So here's the facts. Whether you are of a camp or not, you believe in the chart, okay? What they teach is that we look this way because we are corrupt. That's exactly what they teach. That we mix with the other nation, the white man, and that's why we are light-skinned. Or we don't look like you guys. That's what they say. So we're corrupt. You guys are not. Behold, I show you a mystery. Oh, hold on a second. Listen, Ak, come here. I'm going to show you. You're going to be powerful one day. Oh, and you know what? You don't look like me, though. It's all good, homie. You're going to look like me when MESHIACHA returns. Watch this. Behold, I show you a mystery. We shall not sleep, but we shall be changed. We shall all be changed. So, if you're like a little dumbass paisita and you want to fit in, ay, ¿a poco sí, güey? Yeah, that's exactly it. No. I believe that our brothers are also dark skinned. Not at all. Now, I'm going to say this, man. I'm going to say this. Before we continue, because I'm not going to go against, I'm not going to attack you, bro. I'm not. But before we continue, and don't post for your sake, okay? Because I think we can come to a good agreement, but it depends on your spirit, okay? Watch some of the classes that I've shown. I clearly show that our people did mix and that we do look like a variety of people. But what I don't want to start assuming or having my gente assume that we came out of black folks, and that's why we look the way we look. That is no different than white eugenics. That is no different. It's the same thing. It's the same thing. It's the same exact thing. So that's why I'm standing. If I were you, my brother, if you are my beloved, then just sit back a bit. Just listen and move the spirit outside of you, man. Don't make it into ¿cómo se dice? Don't make it into about colorism, bro. All right? This is about our gente. So if you care about our gente, you're going to get rid of the colorism. Because if you really see the stuff that I've been bringing out, there is a whole separation between us, and I'm including you, and them. Us and them is way different. Listen, my brother, if you look at the class I did, Partis Sequitur Ventrum, you're going to understand what I'm talking about. And if you happen to look like so-called them, well, you're going to have to find out a very sad history, my brother, because they took our women. That law was not against black women or white women. It was strictly towards natives, bro. Matter of fact, look, I'll show you. Well, let me finish this, and then I'll show you. No, you know what? I'm going to move on. Matter of fact, family, you know what's let me show this real quick. Let me see if I have it, all right? Hold on a second. Let me see. What would it be under? Organization, maybe? No. It would be, let me see. R2s. Hold on a second. We'll find it here. All right, so I did this class, Partus Sequitur Ventrum of 1962. Okay? And I call it MESHIACHA slavery because I'm considering the whole land up north and south. All right? That's what I'm going by. That's my, you could say, lack thereof understanding. Okay? So now, this right here is one example of what I'm talking about. You see this man right here? It's a black man right there. These are white folks. And that's our sister right there. Partis Sequitur Ventrum was targeted towards our sisters. It wasn't targeted towards them at all. Now, did they get a piece of the puzzle? Yeah, of course. Now, I'm not gonna go that route, bro. I'm just trying to help you here. I'm just trying to help you, man. If you're listening to what I'm saying, bro, I just told you, you know what I mean? Watch the other classes I've done, and you'll see what I'm talking about.
You try to turn around and say that we and the Mexicans are not the same. You're delusional. You are delusional. Because we and they have struggled along with all of the Latino, Caribbean, Central and South America for thousands of years. It's in your history books. It's in your history books all the way back to the Assyrian Empire. It's back to the Egyptians. The Egyptians have their records in the Grand Canyon where the Latino tribes were living, which was filled. It wasn't just California.
We got nothing in common with these people. And that's what I've been teaching in my channel for quite some time. Nothing in common. Matter of fact, I posted on this stupid video, and what I stated, I provided sources to, and I got no response. Then we got stupid ass Mexican, First president was Afro-American. Jesus. Scripturally speaking, you do kind of fit the Israelites, because the Israelites were so little bitches, like for real. That's why the Most High even cared for y'all. He didn't care for you because you were the greatest, fastest, strongest, tallest. Fuck no. Those were the Philistines. The Philistines. Fucking the Canaanites, the Jebusites, all of those Phoenicians is what I was trying to spit. You know what I'm saying? It's like you guys totally forget. Serious? We have nothing in common. But let's continue.
California, you better reach all into Nevada and all of those states, those so-called desert states, Arizona. That's why Arizona, they hate Latinos so much.
Second, who's getting deported right now? Who's getting deported right now? It ain't you guys. It ain't y'all. Matter of fact, Somalians are getting deported. Not you guys. Stop the fucking cap. Let me see if I can find the picture here. Is it this one? No. Hold on. Just real quick, and then I'm gonna move on. I'm gonna move back to the topic. No, that's not it. Give me a second, family. ¿Cómo le nombré, güey? Shit. Oh man, I probably don't have it. I can't remember the name. Fuck. Let me see. Anyway, you know what? Just watch the class, bro. Seriously, man. Just check it out. The Quiche Reliefs. I'll check them out later. But anyways, just in case you don't know, this is what they teach. Okay, just in case you don't know that this is how you're gonna become like black again. So what they're saying is that if you're so-called a Hebrew, then the only way that you're a Hebrew is that if you're black, like African. That's what they teach. We don't do that. Here's why I'm reading this. It says some ancient historians were ignorant. Others prejudiced, which is what I'm finding. Some searchers into antiquities adopted the traditional tales of their predecessors, and others, looking with contempt, like we see today, on the origin of tribes and societies. Looking with contempt, meaning they're not really interested for our own benefit at all, and they're not interested in our benefit, okay, at all. Altogether exploded them without investigation. You see that? So they looked at it in contempt. Altogether exploited them without investigation or investigation. Yeah. So they went about like, that's what it seems. I'll just write it down. They copy and paste it, basically. My design is to examine if possible, ascertain the genealogy and the descent of the Indians. All right. So now let me show you this real quick. Let's move on. Oh, wait, hold on. Let me page number 6. I almost forgot. Let me just show you guys real quick. Where is it at? Oh, here goes. Their eyes are small, sharp, and black. Their hair is lank, coarse, and darkish. I never saw any with curly hair. What? Yeah. He never saw any Indians with curly hair. None whatsoever. That's milk. Let me see what you got. Veggie. Let me see the word. I'm not familiar with that word. Vegetated? Oh, yeah. Yeah, so so what's the deal? I don't understand. Indians are not black. I know. I know that. I don't know. I'm not sure if you know what we're even like. Okay, bro. Matter of fact, let me continue, okay? Because I don't think we're on the same page here. Indians are not black, or are they black? I don't understand, bro. Like we're actually clearing that up. Well, they also didn't have curly hair, and not all Indians were not black. I mean, brown. You know what I mean? Like some of us mixed. I mean, some of us are darker than others. You can't also say that. You know what I'm saying? Tampoco no mames, güey. You know? Tampoco no mames, güey. Hold on a second. Let me go to this real quick. And the reason why I read this, that some ancient historians are willing to, not sincerely look at your history? Some ancient historians were ignorant, others prejudiced, right? Others prejudiced. So what is one example of people that have a prejudiced judgment against you? Very clear, very simple. Daniel 7:25. It says, and he shall speak great words against the Most High and shall wear out the saints of the Most High. To think to change times and laws. Understanding. And their time. Meaning us boss on the bottom and they're on top. Times and laws. Their customs, their ways is their time. Remember the scripture that says they got but about a short time? Exactly what it is. And they shall give unto his hand, and they shall be given unto his hand until a time and a times and dividing of times. Once again, we go back to this. So I always ask these questions, man. Listen, if somebody was able to answer these, then it would be cool, man. Then I'd probably still be in those rooms. But when you start wondering, like, how come you guys don't tell us who these guys are? Then you start exposing yourself. It says in Psalms 83:2, for lo, it says for lo. Hold on a second, man. I didn't even know I would do this. For lo, thine enemies make a moat, and they that hate thee have lifted up their head. They have taken crafty counsel against thy people and consulted against thy hidden ones. They have said, come, let us cut them off from being a nation. And that's my point, bro. That's what they've done. They cut us off from being a nation. Yeah, born again into your heritage, into your traditions, into the laws, into the way of our Father. That's what it means. Not dipping your head in water, not thinking you can go eat pork and all that stuff. If you're keeping the commandments, bro, then all glory to our Father. But if you're saying that the 12 tribe chart is for real, now I know you're wrong, because you're 100% wrong. And if you're a native of this land, then you need to really back off a little bit, because I'm from Mexico. I was born in Mexico, Guadalajara. My family is from there. Okay, I know my history. I still got familia down there. We know what went about, and there's a lot of stuff that you guys don't know up here that happened down there. That's why. That's exactly why it's important. What you said, you're right. Being born again, that's important, but with truth. With truth. That's what I'm asking for. Inquiring minds want to know. You know, I ask questions, people don't want to answer. I'm like, okay, how come you saying that? Doesn't make sense. Jeremiah 31:36 says this. If those ordinances depart before me, say the Lord, which his name is Yahoo, or Yao, which we used to pronounce, not Yahweh, then the seed of Israel, or Ish Yahoo, also shall cease from being a nation before me forever. You see, what that means is when the moon is not there, when the sun goes down, when everything explodes, when that ends, then we are going to end. So we never departed. Ever, ever, ever departed. Now, here's why I did this class, the whole Wakanda thing, right? Now, when I first heard these people talk, man, it made me mad. But I was like, but it's not our history, right? That's what I thought. So let's listen into stupidity. And I'm going to speed it up so you can see the normalization of racism. The normalization of racism. All right, let's go.
I didn't like Black Panther 1 because the messages were horrible.
Well done.
CIA agents were friends. I didn't like Black Panther 1 because the messages were horrible. CIA agents were friends of the Wakandans. CIA agents were responsible for the assassination of nearly every major black leader we had in the 20th century. They made the Wakandans look selfish, like they didn't care about American Africans. They made Killmonger the symbolic representation of the African-American alpha male who was conscious. They made him into a killer and a disrespecter of African culture. I thought the themes in Wakanda were horrible. There was no romance, no intimacy, no love, no black woman with a child in the whole movie. Black Panther 1 was a political nightmare. Now let's go to Black Panther 2. And I'm going to keep this brief. Let me say this. No disrespect to the Mexican community. No disrespect to the Mexican.
He's a liar. No disrespect, but yet you call us underwater Mexicans. Like wetbacks.
Mexican community. No disrespect to the Mexican community. You have a right to your own heroes, and Mexican children have a right to see their heroes in their own image. I totally support the right of Mexican children to see heroes in their
We are underwater Mexicans. What about watermelon Negroes? What about that? See, there's always a way. You see what I'm saying? Always a way.
Image. So respect to the Mexican community. With that being said, I did not take my children to see Black Panther 2 so they can watch Mexican superheroes whip the shit out of black superheroes. I'm gonna say it again, and I don't care who don't like it. As far as I'm concerned, it was a total disgrace to watch a movie where everything black children held sacred about the Wakandans was shown to be possessed by the underwater Mexicans. Vibranium was supposed to be native to Wakanda, but Ryan Coogler and whoever else wrote that horrible screenplay gave the underwater Mexicans Vibranium too and made them as strong as the Wakandans. Why would you build up Black Panther as strongly as you did in the first movie only to turn around and tear the damn thing down? The Mexicans were clearly stronger than the Africans in that movie. The Mexicans were whipping our ass the whole movie. The Mexican leader, and I forget his name, he got more screen time in the movie than the Black Panther did. If this movie is about Black Panther, emphasis on black, why are our children in the movie theater watching an underwater Mexican hero get more screen time than the black hero in the movie?
No, I'm not. You see, you're a young. Let me tell you something, bro. If you want me to read a scripture like Ezekiel and all that, why don't you hit the link and we could talk about it if you like. But then don't get embarrassed when I start embarrassing you, and don't run, because I'm gonna go straight to the scriptures in Deuteronomy 28, and I'm gonna hit you hard, and you better answer it, or you're gonna embarrass yourself. That's why I keep saying, sit back, be quiet, and listen, man. That's what I'm trying to tell you. And did you know? Matter of fact, did you know? Let me just tell you something. Did you know that the Holy Spirit we pronounce as Ruach? Did you know that? You didn't know that. And that was down south. So again, man, if you want me to read a scripture, hit the link. If not, I'm still trying to help you. I'm having patience, bro. But damn, you're making it. And you're gonna find out my point. I don't let nobody get under my skin, man. Listen, I don't take none of this. Well, how can I say it personal? Of course I don't take it personal, but what's the best way to say it? I'm a professional at this, man. I'll tell you that right now. Okay, I come from a boxing background. So for me, this is nothing. Yeah, I know. That's what I just said, that we fit all the curses, the natives of this land. But it seems like you keep wanting to include other people before you even can consider who your people are. Look, listen, man. These are not your gente, bro. Okay? Because they don't have the cultura, they don't have the man, if your spiritual understanding of these things, then you would even understand at this point. And this has nothing to do with curses. There's a gazillionaire of Negroes in America. They have it the best than any other so-called African tribe in the entire world. And you're telling me they're cursed?
So Dr. Umar went to see Wakanda Forever.
Did he?
This is great. What was his review?
Super. No disrespect to the Mexican community.
No, that means
You
disrespect.
have a right to your own heroes, and Mexican children have a right to see their heroes in their own image.
No, that's true.
I totally support the right of Mexican children to see heroes in their own image.
Yep, that's true.
So respect to the Mexican community.
That's on game.
With that being said, I did not take my children to see Black Panther 2 so they can watch Mexican superheroes whip the shit out of black superheroes. I don't care who don't like it. As far as I'm concerned, it was a total disgrace to watch a movie where everything black children held sacred about the Wakandans was shown to be possessed by the underwater Mexicans. Vibranium.
They were laughing before he said underwater Mexicans, but they had heard the video already. That's why it's so fucking funny to me, bro, that you guys sit back and just all the fucking racist motherfuckers and shit, or prejudice is the best way to put it. And then you sit back and say reparations because you know what I'm saying, y'all insulting us. Shut the fuck up, man. Just stand the fuck up and just play. Just be who you are. You guys were Negro slavers since 1490 motherfucking 2. You helped the white man come here, did his shit. Come on, bro. Just stop lying. Look at you sitting in good couches. Look at y'all. Are you not noticing? You are sitting in good couches with good video, more expensive than my shit, and you're complaining, claiming that the white man is so horrible to you when you're not even in your own lands. But yeah, you got Negroes like you claiming that you guys are here. We're here before us. And yet we say, okay, bring the proof. Not just in North America, because you're not the only ones in this whole continent. America, it's not just North America. We're talking about all over, all up to Alaska, all down to Chile. What about them? Are you saying that they were confused too? Are you saying that somebody just manipulated this whole continent? Or are we saying that they just targeted you? Like, what the fuck are we really dealing with? We let them call us underwater Mexicans, but the moment you say watermelon Negroes, it's a fucking problem? Let me remind you, West Africans, okay? Because you're not African, you're not Americans, you're not natives, you're West Africans. The Wakanda bullshit that you guys created is not even from over there. That's why I did this class. And I did this class like 2 years ago. And that's why people leave my shit. See, I try to show videos about what I've done in the past because I don't really want to bring it up no more. It's not even important to me. But I know that a lot of you guys who subscribed have no idea that I did this video. I debunked Wakanda forever. Just like I've debunked the Willie Lynch letter. I've done that shit. And no one has ever pushed back. Do you guys ever wonder why? I've debunked the Willie Lynch fucking letter. Never had nobody debunk it. I've debunked Wakanda forever being of African origin, and no one debunked it. Do you guys ever wonder why? Does that ever occur to you?
Was supposed to be native to Wakanda. But Ryan Coogler and whoever else wrote that horrible screenplay gave the underwater Mexicans vibranium too and made them as strong as the Wakandans. Why would you?
You're waiting for that shit. So as you can see, it's all nice and jokes, huh? They're just jakes. Let me assume, right? They're just jakes. I mean, I don't know, man. You know what I'm saying? I don't know. Let me show you something, dude. All right, answer this, okay? You said that the white man took their culture. Okay. You see this right here? Yeah, I already did. I know I know where you're going. That they're all black, right? I don't understand what the Lakeisha is like. It's an old relic from back in the day. So, but that's not the point. We're talking about right now, okay? You said Esau. You said they took their heritage. Oh, poor me. You see this empathy family? Okay, you see this right here? This is the a journal of the Negro history, right? So it's like slaves, right? See the slaves, right? You like Gallego, Isaac, yeah, slaves. They supposedly white people had slaves, right? Pennsylvania, South Carolina, hundreds of slaves. 14, 10, 12, you know what I mean? 20, all of this stuff, right? Check it out. Check it out. Like it's just a bunch of slaves, man. Like look. Oh, poor black people, right? That's what you're assuming. Louisiana. Well, let's go to another state. No, shit. There's a lot of them in Louisiana. Remember the Louisiana Purchase, okay? Remember that. Connecticut, Delaware. Hey, listen, family. Can you guys Google the relic that he's talking about? Just Google it. Please look at it. Apparently, he thinks I'm scared to show it. I have a kind of like a session going on right now. You know what I mean? Anyways, so check this out. 24 slaves, right? Hundreds of slaves, man. Hundreds of slaves. Now you're saying Esau took away their heritage. Okay. Explain this to me then. Okay, explain this to me. And don't be telling me some dumb scripture. Free Negro owners of slaves in the United States in 1838. Explain this to me. Free Negro owners of slaves. Since you want to defend them so much, you're defending them more than you're defending your own gente. So as of right now, I don't care what you think you are. Based on your spirit, you could be them for all I give a damn. Because you can't explain this. Explain this to me. Free Negroes. Wait, what are you talking about, bro? Free Negro owners of slaves in the United States of America. Together with absentee ownership of slaves in the United States in 1830. In 1830. That's, so you see, family? You see this, family? That's 200 years after they got here. But see, that makes no sense now. You, with your 12 tribe belief, I'm scared you haven't hit the link. That's how stupid you are. That's how dumb you are, man. I'm gonna start calling your names out because you're being a child. I told you, sit back, listen. But no, sigues de pendejo, güey. You want to hit the link, bro, because I want you to explain this to me. Because then I'm gonna go through Deuteronomy 28, and I won't get out of that chapter. I will not get out of that chapter, and you prove to me that they are the people. I mean, you keep. How come you don't? How come? Oh, now you made an excuse just now. That's 200 years later, man. It's not their fault, is what you're saying. I'm sorry. So the white man made them into slavers. Oh, okay. All right. If you say so. All right, well, okay, cool. Sounds good. Okay, well, let's go back now. So now let's get historical here. If you're saying that this was 200 years ago, you know what I'm gonna do, family. You know what I'm gonna do. You know what I'm about. You know what I'm gonna do. So stick around. I'm about to show you something here. Since you say that supposedly, right? Supposedly, 200 years ago. Okay? All right. Well, let's see if that is true. Let me go here. Black Society in Spanish Florida. Okay? It's not the book I'm going to bring out. So here, right here. Check this out. You see that right there? That says there, Juan Garrido, African, Portugal, black. These are black conquistadors. These are negro. Look, life patterns of some black conquistadors. You see what I mean, family? You see what I'm saying? You see what I'm saying? This all talk. She's probably Yehudi. Oh my God, it's Yehudi. That girl doesn't stop. Oh wow, dude, that's crazy. Look, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Only a few of black conquistadors. Juan Garrido, el conquistador negro en las Antillas, Florida, Mexico, y Carolina. What are you talking about, man? I mean, what are you talking about? What are you talking about? Here, I'll show you another one. Okay, here's one that's going to blow your mind. Here goes right here. It says here, watch. This is from a current book, okay? Now, you said 200 years ago. 200 years ago. You guys can Google it. I already saw it, man. You're the one. You're listen, Yehudi. It's a girl. Family, don't worry about it. But I'm glad that she's here again. She likes me. It's all good. I know I'm sexy. It's all good. An untold number of free people of African descent, black conquistadors, born in Africa. You see? So now 200 years ago, now it's because of slavery, or now they're black Edomites. Well, guess who started teaching that? Dummy. That was me. You are in the channel that brought that out. You didn't know that, did you? Oh, family, you see what I'm saying, man? This is beautiful. Let's read. An untold number of free people of African descent, black conquistadors born in Africa or in the Iberian Peninsula, also accompanied Spanish conquistadors such as Hernán Cortés and Ponce de León. So if they're black Edomites, how do you believe the 12-type chart, Ak? You're sitting with black Edomites then. Now you guys can't go nowhere now. Okay, so like this out. This is more than 200 years ago. This is 500 years ago. Okay, black conquistadors born in Africa or in the Iberian Peninsula accompanied Spanish conquistadors such as Hernán Cortés and Ponce de León, two of the famed explorers of the vast region that would become modern Mexico and western and southern regions of the United States. And as we might expect, their exploits were just as heroic and just as problematic and as those of the fellow conquistadors. Well, then why don't you okay, if that's the case, then why don't you accept white people then? Why don't you have a tripartite chart that says white people there too? It's not about wheat and tares with you, bro. You care too much about these heathens. And you're probably one of them. And you just have feathers on your head. If you're not Yehudi. You don't want two nations. You don't want two nations. No, you want people to believe that the original people were Africans. While the number of African explorers is impossible to determine. Whoa, hold on a second. You said 200 years ago. You said, oh, that was like 200 years ago. So apparently you don't know your history and you're regurgitating things that people teach you. Okay? It says here, while the number of African explorers is impossible to determine, meaning it's such a vast number of them, we don't know how many it really were. Okay? Many. So it wasn't just white. You see what I'm saying? It wasn't just white. It was white and black folks. Africans. White and Africans, if you want me to say it clear. But you're defending them. You think, wait, hold on a second. So you think that the so-called Negroes that are here are not African? Is that what you say? That Noah has 3 kids? So you want to say that they're Shem, not Ham? Is that what it is? Oh, this is getting better. This is getting better every time. Let's continue. They participated in some way in virtually all of the Spanish expeditions in the New World in the 16th century. These black, okay, like Culo Miado says, black. Chijoto way. These black conquistadors set an example for subsequent racial relations throughout the entire Spanish colonial experience, just like you're doing right now. This has changed your experience. If you are our people, then you're lost, man. Living their daily lives with degrees of complexity that rarely would be achieved by black men and women in the early English settlements in the Caribbean and in North America. Indeed, wherever Spain set its flag of conquest, Esau, okay? In the Americas, Africans helped hold the pen. They participated in the exploration of the lands that would become modern Mexico, Costa Rica, Honduras, Panama, Venezuela. So what are you talking about? So now Deuteronomy 28 is out the door. Way out the door. Completely out the door. Here's more. Since you say that, oh no, you know, it's not, no, there are people. No, they're not. Look, check it out. There's another book. Sure. January 1, 1863, President Abraham Lincoln signed the Emancipation Proclamation, thus initiating the legal process to free the slaves in the rebellion southern states and eventually to eliminate chattel slavery in North America. The ramifications of Lincoln's proclamation affected not only thousands of white slave masters, but hundreds of black culomiados slave masters. In Charleston City, for example, there were 91 free black masters who owned 268 slaves. This was in 1863. Remember the book, 1830? Imagine how many more they had before. Because they knew it was coming up. Okay, so check this out. There were 91 of them. They owned 268 slaves. And when President Lincoln signed that historic document, upon the conclusion of the Civil War, more than 75 black masters in that city were instructed to free their slaves, who numbered 241 bondmen. I mean, you want more? or you had enough? Because you're not explaining nothing now. They had slaves up until the 1800s. They had slaves initially. They came and helped the white man conquer these lands. You still believe them? So now let's get to the nitty gritty. I'm gonna get to the nitty gritty. Ahí les va, güeyes. Let's go. Let's go show it. Let's see it now. It's time to see it. So check this out. I wasn't joking. You see, family, when you talk about a culture vulture nation of people, oh my God. Okay, I'm gonna show it. Here's what they want you to see. The Lachish. Here it goes. Check this out. The Lachish reliefs. Here's what he wants you to see. He wants me to show you this real quick. I guess he says because they had hair like that. That's what he wants you to show. You see? See, Hispanics didn't have hair like that. That's what he wants you to show. All right. So what now? Where's their fringes? Bach. This guy has fringes. But what's your point? So what? This is these guys are actually, in case you don't know, well, you should know, they got fringes, and I know that, I know what they're doing. So what's your point? Let me continue with my point. Once again, family, culture vultures, the nerve of these people. You guys need to pack up your bags and go back to Africa, man, for real. Because you want to know something? You don't belong here. You don't belong here at all. I'm gonna show you something, family. You think I'm kidding? Look at this. I'll show you right here. Page 182. It says here, in long expedition to the Rocky Mountain, we learned that the Ottawa tribe of Inca Indians, who inhabited the west side of the Missouri River, 50 miles above the Engineer continent, believed in one God. They called him Wakanda. Wakanda. They called him Wakanda and believed him to be the greatest and best of the things, the creator and preserver of all things. Let me continue. And he is supposed to afflict them with sickness, poverty, and misfortune for their evil deeds, not keeping the laws. In conversation, he is frequently appealed to as in evidence of the truth of his asseveration. Wakanda, hear what I say. Who is the real culture vulture, Dr. whatever your name is? Who sits here and calls us underwater Mexicans when in reality, you Africans of the western side stole this shit from us? Once again, family, how much more do I have to reveal? Black conquistadors, Habakkuk 1 and 5, 1 and 8. I mean, I could go. The list goes on and on and on and on. The transatlantic, Participitor Ventrum. All of these things are coming about. Listen to this. It's not even over. Their gods, the name of their god, okay, is remarkable. Wakanda. Not a black god. Not no black history. Okay. Because apparently Umar is all offended, like, oh my God, you guys affected our children. They really have this value. No, matter of fact, this is not an African thing. I don't understand. Why didn't you guys read? You guys didn't read? You wonder where that name came from? There's no Wakanda in Africa. Not one. Huaconda, cabron. Not African. So in reality, we want some of that money that you guys made. Matter of fact, you're making a merchandise of your own gente and out of our expense. Do you realize that? Again, family. Again, I tell you. People can come here and talk all the shit they want, but they can't prove a damn thing. Revelation 3:9. Behold, I will make them of the synagogue of Satan, which say they are Jews and are not, but do lie. Because they don't have the necessary power or might like the ones in Revelation 2:9. Let's continue. The name of their God is remarkable. Wakanda. And has been shown in the body of his work that various of the Indians call Yahweh or Yahiwa, like how they say, right? Ale, Yah, or Wa, doubtless from the Hebrew name Jehovah. As you know, that's not correct. It has been shown that these syllables, which compose of the name of God, are compounded in many Indian words. So you see, family, how they even try to steal our heritage and claim like, oh, it's an African thing. There's absolutely nothing sweet about you guys, but there's so much beauty about our gente, man. That's northern and southern, okay? The northern part of these continents and the southern part, which includes you, no more two nations if you are gente. But I don't know, man. Kind of think kind of think you're not. But again, I may be wrong. It's not up to me. It's up to the Most High. So hopefully you are. You know what I'm saying? I really wish you the best, man. If you're not, you're gonna pay. Here we find fact. Here we find the fact. This is a fact that Wakonda was our tradition, our people, our heritage, our names. That's what it means. Not no African crap. Hey, Dr. Uman, Shakid Reed, or whatever your name is, please, somebody forward this class to them. Please, somebody do it. Somebody do it. Let's see what they got to say about this. And I'm going to show you some more stuff. Okay? Wakanda. The last syllable of the Indian Yehovah. Wakanda. You see? Yahoo or Yahoo Wakanda. Yahuwakanda. You see my family? Jawa, their monosyllable name of God, thus compounded. Monosyllable is like I-O, I-E-O-U, Yao, I-O. That's why for us it's so easy to say. Here is evidence among those children of the desert, both as to the nature and name of their one God, corresponding with what has been exhibited of other tribes, and very accountable if they are not of the tribe of Israel. That's why they want your name, they want your heritage, and they act like it's theirs, and blah, blah, blah. And they bring people like him over here that may be confused, maybe, or maybe you're just one of theirs. You know what I'm saying? I don't know. I don't know what your spirit is. But I'm not here to teach our people incorrect shit. Because every word is, every idol, everything I'm saying is being written in the books right now. As well as the bricks that I'm laying. What do you mean? The Most High is dealing with me. You see what I mean, family? Where did you guys get that 12 tribe chart doctrine from? But you don't doubt that the Most High is dealing with him? But you doubt that the Most High could be dealing with me? How so? So it came from one particular people, right? One person who influenced others. So the Most High dealt with him because he's black, but not with me because I'm so-called Hispanic or from Mexico. You see my gente? Out of the abundance of the heart, the mouth speaketh. People don't realize the stupid shit they say. And then when you pay attention to what they're really saying, it reveals itself the entire time. This person is a Negro. Hands down. Or you married one. Or your kids look like them. That's probably what you're mad. Or your wife is. And that's why you hopefully she's going to make it. A religious custom related to Mr. Long goes to corroborate the opinion that these people are Israel. Okay, let's continue. From his elevated position, he cries aloud to Wakanda, or or how do you say? Yahawakanda, like this. Isaiah chapter 58 and verse 1. Cry aloud, spare not, lift up thy voice like a trumpet, and show my people their transgressions, and the house of Jacob their sins. Like that. Cries aloud to Wakonda, humming a melancholy tune, and calling on him to have pity on him, and to make him a great hunter and warrior. It just gets better and better. So check this out. I'm going to show you something. You guys think I'm lying? Look, it is a native thing. Here, check that thing. Check it out, yo. Check it out, yo. Wakantanka, creator God of multiplication, adding, and long living. Huakangon or something like that. These are just, just to show you, man. They knew what they were doing the entire time, and they put somebody like that idiot, so-called doctor, and to push it. Native American legend, Wakanda. Here, you guys do the digging. Here it goes right here. See that right there? There we go, right there. Yeah, so you're 50. I'm 47. I'm not a felon. I've been in and out of jail. What's your fucking point? So what? Because you're a 4-time felon, we're supposed to all of a sudden be scared of you and shit? But I thought you were about the spirit. So now, I'm a 4-time felon. You see this family? So now I'm a 4-time felon. So you are 50. You're a 4-time felon. That's important for you to state. But you're 50 years old. Me personally, at 50, I wouldn't be here wasting my fucking time telling me shit on this post here and not hitting the link. At this point, I don't even know, bro. I'm baffled now, dude. You're 50 and you're 4-time felon, and you come here saying ridiculousness at 50 years old. You just ignore. I just insulted you, man. Oh my God, bro. Wow. This is good, family. You see, I don't have to. They expose themselves. It's not me. It's them. It's completely them. Who's I'm not. Listen, okay, so let's listen to this real quick because we're about to finish up real quick. We're almost done.
They were blue. They had superhuman strength. They came from the water on the backs of the whales. I struck down 3 of them, blows that should have killed them, but they froze. They were blue. They had superhuman strength.
Really? She did that? Nah, she did that, bro? Nah, hey, bro, you know what? I'm about to catch this movie. I'm kind of late. Everybody's talking about it. Yeah, Black Panther. Man, let's see what the hype is all about, bro. All right. Yep. I'll call you after.
Here.
For sure.
Hey, it's the funny, man. It's the funny, family. What up?
Que
alguien me explique. Buenas noches. What's up, brothers and sisters? What's going on? Buenas noches a todos. Let me get in here real quick. Let me replace this picture. Oh yeah, let's see what we got. Bam. Okay. All right. Nobody said anything. Okay, so shalom, I guess, whatever. I'm gonna try to get through this quick. It's important. I didn't want to let this topic go for next weekend. As I'd end up probably trying to do something else and then not forget about the class. So, bienvenidos if you're new to this channel. MESHIACHA Chronicles. Yeah, that's right, bro. That's right, man. On your way to the concert. Yeah, that's right, brother. That's good, man. Enjoy yourself over there, man. Be safe. Be safe more than anything. First of all, make sure I make it home. Okay, let's get to it then. Listen, I'm gonna show you a video. I find it very interesting. We're gonna touch on this video, but I want to share something with you before we do, because you know how I go. All right, there were some things that were said yesterday, and I kind of went over. What land are you named? I kind of went over it in regards to people calling in, and a young lady, I guess you could say, she said some things that, as I was listening, very carefully, I wanted to make sure I didn't miss anything. And she said some things that, really caught my attention. Oh, okay, cool. I got you, bro. I'll check it out. It like caught my attention. You know what I'm saying? So it's similar to what this was said here. So let me bring this to your attention. Oh, hold on a second. Sorry. Let me turn it down. Let me bring this to your attention because she said something in regards to melanin. It was very emphasized, right? So check this out. Let's check it out.
Native to. If we even told you, you wouldn't understand. We know where you guys are not from Turtle Island. Hey, bro, Turtle Island is melanated carbon ether beings. Okay, ether beings. Island is melanated carbon ether beings. Okay, man. When Christopher Cologne, not Columbus, that's what they teach you in European history. When Christopher Cologne, who was a black man.
Fam, this right here, I'm glad that this came up right now. I'm so fucking glad that this came out right now. Because you see this class that I got going on? We're going to tackle that shit. We're going to tackle that shit. You see, what I do is I surgically get rid of mushrooms. See, mushrooms are like just this fucking fungus that comes out of just, deathness that wants to eat you up because it has nothing else to do because it comes from darkness. Do you get what I'm saying? And I am going to teach y'all what the fuck these dumbass fucking West African Americans are really saying. Listen to what he just said right now.
Okay, man. When Christopher Cologne, not Columbus, that's what they teach you in European history. When Christopher Cologne, who was a black man.
When Christopher Cologne, who was a black man. Let me show you some shit real quick. This is why I debunk you motherfuckers all the time. It's so funny to me, bro. I mean, I don't even know how easy it gets for me. It really gets real easy for me. You see, that concept supposedly of that Christopher Columbus was a black man, okay, sounds good. But at the same fucking breath and the same fucking stupidity from motherfucking West African concepts, they fall into their own trap. Because they also say that Africans discovered this land. So take their logic. If Africans discovered this land and Columbus was a fucking African, why would he enslave the same very people that he looks like?
Who are you?
And if the original people supposedly were here before us, then that still makes you fucking Africans, Hamites, Canaanites that you weren't supposed to be in the land of. I mean, it just fathoms me. All of a sudden now, you just forget about all this shit. But let's continue.
Okay, came to Americas. He saw copper beings. You guys are not copper beings, bro. Wherever you got these degrees, you need to take them back.
He says copper beings. See, hold on. See, this is why I like to. Oh man, I like to destroy this stuff. I always do because I read. I always try to, at least. This is from. Oh, hold on, not this one. Hold on. I think it's not this book, not this thumbnail either. I think Samuel Morton. Hold on a second, family. Morton. Is this it? No, that's not the book. I'm looking for the wrong page. Okay, let's go. Let's go.
Hey, man. Hey, bro. Whenever you got that $5 treaty, you need to take it back. Hey, we gonna take it back. All that shit. Hey, facts. Hey, facts. That's
right here. Crania Americana. Crania Americana. Crania Americana debunks this bullshit. He's like, oh, what about the copper color shit? Bro, we're sick of it, man. We're fucking over it, man. We just debunked it. We debunk it all the time. I mean, for real. Hold on, let me try to get to it real quick. Page 69, 81. Hold on a second. I'll do it quick. Just you guys don't even waste my time. I don't even want to waste my time on this shit. Hold on, fam. I'll do it quick. Hold on. Don't even trip. Crania. There it goes. What page is it on? A moment, real quick. It's all good. I got you. 92. Page 21, page 7, page 8, page 87, page 88, page 68. Okay, here we go. We're not too far. 67, 68. Let's read this together. It says it right here. Okay? So before anybody gets debunked, before anybody gets confused, before any Negro from West motherfucking Africa tries to claim that they're people of this land because supposedly there's copper color shit, you got to come with more than that. Because we're sick of it. A copper-colored skin has been assumed by most writers as a characteristic distinction of the Americans, who have hence been called the copper-colored base. The investigation of Dr. McCullough satisfactorily proves that this designation is wholly inapplicable to the Americans as a race, and it's more characteristic of some other and very remote nations, meaning Africans, dark motherfucking people. The error has obviously arisen from the habitual use among many tribes of red paint to a brown skin, which occasions a copper hue. Why is this confusing to you, motherfuckers? Humble declares that the denomination of copper-colored men could never have originated in the equinoctial regions to designate the Americans, meaning the native, the indigenous, our people. And I could further testify that among the individuals of many tribes that I have come under my observation, I have never seen a copper-colored man. Do you read that shit? Like an actual copper-colored, like black, like Negro from Africa, which is what you wanted to me. We consider, therefore, says Dr. McCullough, that the color of the American Indians in general is brown, differing in intensity, meaning light brown, very light brown, or darker brown when it comes to being in the sun, with various tribes according to various localities. But it is almost impossible to say that the brown color principally resembles. The cinnamon is, in my apprehension, the nearest approach to it. You guys never look like cinnamon. Y'all look black, unless you mix with the white people. And then you have those white girls. Then that you want to say that they supposedly are natives. You ain't fooling nobody. You're just like these Khazars, trying to steal a heritage that don't belong to you. Like they're over there in Gaza, doing the same motherfucking shit. The cinnamon is, in my apprehension, the nearest approach to it, though it's still too inaccurate to for general comparisons. I fully coincide in opinion with McCullough and believe with him that no epithet derivable from the color of skin so correctly designates the Americans collectively as that of a brown fucking race. So basically what they're saying is when they see a native, they don't really know what color we are because, we're light skin, dark skin, and all that shit. But when they see a motherfucking Negro, they know what color he is. When they see a Negro, West African, South African, mostly East African, sometimes North African, they can assume he's an African. But when they see a West African, that's a motherfucking Negro from West Africa. Stop trying to steal our heritage. Because I can debunk you all day. And you see, this is why I get sick of you guys talking shit to the brothers that I know. You guys are going to gangster channels talking shit to them. Because, they don't really study this stuff. Maybe that's what it is. But why don't you come to my fucking channel? Why don't you try to debunk my shit? ISUPK, General, your fat ass Johanna, Kaiser face, you know what I'm saying? Come on, bro. Yeah, you guys been ignoring me for this long. Come on. Eventually, we got to talk. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm embarrassing you. Every single person that you send to my channel, I fucking make sure that they got their ass in their tail. You know what that means? That means that they're like a dog. Agarran la pinche, that thing that hangs around their ass and just tucks it in. Everybody that comes to this channel eventually does that. Why? Because I don't lie to people. I fully coincide in opinion with Dr. McCullough, and believe with him that no epithet derivable from the color of his skin so correctly designates the Americans collectively as that of a brown race. Although the Americans, meaning natives, thus possess a pervading and characteristic complexion, there are occasional and very remarkable deviations, including all the tints from a decided white to an unequivocally black fucking skin. You see, and we look like that without mixing with white people. Yet you Negroes look like this when you mix with white people and you use this to claim that you're natives. We clearly understand that we didn't turn white because we mixed with these motherfucking Spaniards, because the Spaniards that came here in 1492 weren't necessarily white. That's a fact. And this is why I am doing my series of the hidden secrets, because I'm going to continue to blow this shit up in the smoke. I mean, let's put it this way, bro. How come nobody comes here and tells me, "Oh man, you're fucking wrong. Nah, you're disregarding the heritage of this and that." No. Yeah, I don't do that. We don't do that because I'm showing you facts. You see that? What it says, including all tints from a decided white, like my son, to an unequivocally black skin, mean to them, negro skin, like my brother Chato. If you look at my brother Chato and you see my son Max, they have total different skin tones. And I'm right in the middle. This fact may be sufficiently illustrated by the following example. That you Negroes never were here. You tell Mike TV, you tell every single motherfucking wabo to come get it here. Tell, what's his name, Red Supreme? Supposedly he sucks the dick of like Captain Taserface and shit. Tell him to come debate me too. You know what I'm saying? I put everybody in check in this channel, bro. Y'all want to fuck around with our heritage, I will definitely remind you who the fuck you are. I will always remind you who you are. I don't mess around here.
One thing that's
Neither should you.
one truth that I believe in, y'all. Facts. We finna take it. Bro, your truth is freaking delusional, man.
I'm saying facts. We're gonna take your stuff because you don't like your own stuff, bro. You guys are frauds and imposters, liars, deceivers. You guys fell for the okie doke. Really, you guys are easily fooled and gullible.
You're racist.
So it was mostly this particular part. This one here.
Hey, bro, Turtle Island is melanated carbon ether beings. Okay.
See, that's why yesterday I kept hearing melanated. You know what? When I started bringing out some of these classes,
This is an enslaved.
what I had read in with regards to slavery, who was enslaved. You know what I'm saying? What kind of people were involved? A lot of you hated me for it. Some of you that are listening, and I can tell, you hated me for it before. But you know, eventually, man, if you stick to your guns of what you believe in, people may come around. Anyways, let's listen to this, okay? So here, this sister, she has a channel, and I haven't really looked into her channel too much, but I do like some of the material she shows. I've seen so far. Here we see, or at least we'll listen to, some particular person, native, I believe, passing as a so-called Negro. So that's why perception is reality. Unless you understand history, you're going to be fooled into believing that the word itself defines certain people. But at that time, the word itself was used in a very blurry way. So check this out.
Woman named Fanny, and she escapes her Alabama slave owner. And so she's described in her runaway slave poster as, quote, as white as most white women, with straight light hair and blue eyes. He says that she can pass for white. She's practically indistinguishable physically from a white woman, and yet she's considered black and she's enslaved. So what separates her from white women? As Mark Twain puts it, quote, a fiction of law and custom.
Fiction of law and custom. And, you know, she does a very nice job, I think. Very nice job here to slip this in. Because when you think about how, thank you, brother. Appreciate it. VTC, what up, bro? Appreciate it, Brian. I hope you get that text. The sister really meant that, man. Okay. Thank you, bro. So what you do, bro, those short messages, man, people care for that shit. That's good. So as you can see, like if you compare her to a so-called Negro, of course you wouldn't say she's African American, but at the same time, when you compare them to British-looking people, she doesn't fit the script. So what other label? Again, I think there were laws by this time that were being passed that would not allow you to enslave natives after 1670 or 80. They were still being done, but they were a little bit more stricter. Prior to that, it was actually more towards us. Now, I find this very interesting, and here's the reason why. Because before I get into this other class, right? Before I get into this class right here, there's this book called Confronting Black Jacobins, the United States, the Haitian Revolution, and the Origins of the Dominican Republic. So now I have a brother, and I wish I could talk to you more, Guaracuya, because I know, you know, we miss each other sometimes and shit, you know, with your schedule. But brother is from the Dominican, right? And you guys have dealt with Asian people. And the particular person called yesterday, and she identified herself as that as well, with a little bit of Ethiopian. So I have had some understanding of Haitian history, not a lot, but as I'm listening, I'm at the same time remembering, like, damn, You know, I remember this book, and mind you, I was going to bring it up another time, but I figured let me bring it up now because a lot is said with regards to who the people are of the book or what so-called history they have towards the actual book of life. So here we see black Jacobins hanging white folks. You see, we've been under the impression that this wasn't the case, right? That was the impression that this wasn't the case. Now, here we see, matter of fact, the first page it says, lamentable, cried George Washington in response to what he had described in 1791 as the unfortunate insurrection of the Negroes in Hispaniola. The president of the fledgling nation was anxious. This is understandable, particularly given the huge population of sensitive, enslaved Africans that inhabited his own nation and the propensity of these bonded workers to unite across borders. Washington reflected mostly on a spirit of revolt among blacks. Now, here's what a lot of you people, and I'm going to say people and anybody specific, just saying people uneducated or ignorant to this. 1791, wrap your mind around this year. 13 colonies, okay? 1776, 1783, 1791, you start taking over lands that particularly pertain to Spain, where so-called Negroes were free, so-called free. Florida, Louisiana, all of those outskirts, excluding the territory of France. This was when, you know, the whole argument about not extending the 13 colonies past the French territory. That was the agreement prior to the French-American War. Here we see George Washington in the fear of, shit, we got some people that are within our so-called, that are becoming free or at least dealing with others that may be potentially assisting in these cases. Now, we know this for a fact that even at that time that we're passing laws that were not allowing people that were native, Jews, black and white, or African American, so-called Negroes, or natives too, right? Not allowed to purchase Christians. And when they meant by Christian, they meant white folks. Not the light-skinned lady we just saw right now. We're talking about British-looking people, Christian Protestant type. The WASP is what they call it, White Anglo-Protestant. That's the WASP, White Anglo-Saxon Protestant. Those are Christians. When you read a book from the 1700s or 16 or 18, they're referring to those people. So don't be mindful, don't be ignorant to the fact that 1791, they're still barely trying to expand beyond 13 colonies. And Asia was already in revolt, considering who was there in the first place, unlike what we were told that supposedly they were brought from Africa in slavery. That wasn't really the case. A lot of them came in indentured servitude. Those are facts. I'm not going to sit here and tell you otherwise. If you don't know that about your country, you should find that out more. Because don't go by the okie doke of America, where they give you just enough, make you feel a certain way, but ignore the rest of the actual facts that may just be able to help you see things with more clarity before you go off on a limb and raise an entire family with this belief that may not be applicable to you. Because again, here we see, for example, this was ironic indeed. Anyway, so look, I don't want to get too much into this book because, you know, I'm just pointing it out, but it's very, very interesting in the way that it's being spoken or written, and then also when it references the years, 1803, 1793, 1776, 1789. Now, I've done classes of how this also affected those territories that were being lost, because they kind of technically belong to our people. You see where this is all kind of having itself play out? So that's why you have to be mindful. So my question today is exactly that right there. So again, I'm just trying to touch the subject on particulars that I think are important to consider, because, you know, this is the time where I think everybody, I guess in a way, you know, wants to be a Jew. I don't want to be a so-called Hebrew. I don't want to be one. If I am, I am. I don't want to be one. You get what I'm saying? If none of this, if I started finding out that our gente was not really connected to the history, man, I don't get fooled easy. I'll embrace. I'll be like, yo, it is what it is. But the more I try to debunk this knowledge, the more I found out that it was actually possibly 98% true. You know what I mean? You look at our history on the native side, like on just the Native American, so-called Native Indian, Indigenous, and you see a portion of our celebration, excluding all of this bullshit ideologies that we had gods. I believe we thank, because even to this day, we thank just God for the things that we have. Like, oh man, this being are good. Thank God. You know what I'm saying? So I could see where people misunderstand that. But just looking at us on that aspect, I can see where there's a lot of spirituality, understanding that is in the book that even Christians don't even get. Anyways, so the class once more, I don't want to lose y'all, but it has to do with this here. I just wanted to bring those 2 points up because of a conversation I had yesterday. So we're going to talk about this today. I'm going to cover this video. It's in Spanish, so for you guys that don't understand it, man, shit. I'm going to put the translations. Let me see if I can do subtitles. I might as well handle it now. But before I do this, I'm going to read you this book so you can see the importance of reading. The Invention of the Jewish People. This is Shlomo Sand. So this guy right here, he basically throws the Sephardics under the bus, the so-called Africans, Jewish-ish people under the bus, and the Khazars under the bus. So it's like he's like, yo, I know I ain't, but you guys are all coming with me. So let's read this a little bit. Okay. Oh, my bad. This is from page, I believe, yeah, page 206. Hold on, it's 206. Let me just check real quick. Give me a second. 208. Okay. It says here, the sad luck of historical testimony, and it's all going to connect technically with the video too. You know, I always try my best to connect it. The sad lack of historical testimony about the early formation of Jewish groups in Iberian Peninsula, Wechsler argued, forces us to rely on the evolution of their language and their ethnographic data. As a philological archaeologist, Wechsler fully skilled traced linguistic vestiges found in the text in the languages that are still in use today, and concluded that the origins of the Sephardic Jews were extremely heterogeneous and hardly Judean, meaning it was localized. Most came to Europe from North Africa. You see that? So those so-called Sephardic Jews, black or white, whatever you want to see them, they were mostly from North Africa, with the Muslim conquest in the early 8th century, and traces of Judo-Arabic from the Maghreb, as well as Berber customs, can be found in Judeo-Iberian language and culture. Here we see that if the Arab language was a decisive factor from linguistic viewpoints, in culture, religious and demographic terms, the Berber presence was the most significant. That's a pretty heavy point. Here's why. Okay, we're going to follow into, I believe, page 207, 208, or 205. I don't know which one is this, man. Give me a second. This would be on Jewish on page 210. Okay? I'm going to read the bottom because I want to point this out. Again, I've done classes before where I explain and show that these so-called Sephardic Jews were converts. The majority of them were. Okay? And I finally showed that most of them were North African, Berber, Phoenician, maybe some Arab in them. So they were not actual real Hebrews. So that whole Jacobin concept picture that I showed you, you know what I mean? Like so-called Hebrews that they were converts too. You know, the VHI says that King James was, you know, one of those people, right? Well, he was a Saracen, North African. He was a convert too. So none of them were actual Hebrews. Then it says on the bottom, in the middle of the 10th century, the Sephardic Golden Age, Hasdai ibn Shabrut. Now, for you guys that have done some history, you've read about this guy because supposedly he had a conversation on paper with this king of Khazar. A lot of them thought, yeah, they see that Sephardic Jew, that guy's a Jew. Well, that guy was, that's why he has a name like that. He's like not a Hebrew. You get what I mean? He's a convert himself. So there's a lot of conversions. Everybody's just like, whatever, dude. Let's just go mix around with conversions and shit, right? So now we get into the whole Khazar, because that's the point of the video. Then it says here, the sad lack of historical testimony about the early formation of Jewish groups in... Hold on a second. Did I read this way? Hold on a second. Oh, yeah, I did read it. My bad. Let me go the other way. Then it's okay. So it says here, the letter, right? Ahazim Abin Shabrut sends it to this king of Khazar. The point of me sharing this with you is that it says your letter opens with the poem of praise for the king. They're in communication, both officially converts. You know what I mean?
Oh, that's gonna hurt.
Now, on the bottom, it says Isaiah goes on to describe in detail of the difficulties entailed in dispatching the letter. So now it's like, you know, they're in communication, what kingdom, who ruled, blah, 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 country, climate, all that BS. Okay? So now we continue to page 221. In the same book, Shlomo says this. Yehuda or Yahweh or Yahu, but see, but they added some weird shit. Halevi noted in the Kazuri. Hold on, let me make it big. My bad, family. Yehudi have noted in the Kazuri that the Khazars converted in 740 CE. Remember the letters between those two dummies? Okay, but the date may not be correct. The Christian documents written circa 864 CE. So it's saying like not really in a 740, more like an 860 AD, 800, almost 900 years after the Mashiach. Okay, keep that in mind. In distant Western France, stated that all the Khazari obey the precepts of Judaism. Ism, like Ish. At some stage between the mid-8th and 9th centuries, the Khazars adopted Hold on a second here. Let me slow down a bit. The Khazars adopted. Not rooted out of their DNA. This is not a custom of theirs. So they took it upon themselves to pick up a Jewish custom of monotheism as their particular faith and riot. Now, I want to point this out. I didn't want to read all this, but I'm going to have to because it gets to the point of what the video is. And it is reasonable to assume that this was not a miraculous single act, but a long process, basically saying the conversion, it wasn't just over one night. Several years later, even King Joseph's questionable letter describes the conversion in occurring in stages. King Balaam, then it becomes the Moses and Obadiah, blah, 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 blah. But here's where we see the real spirit of these people, the synagogue of Satan, those that claim they are Jews and are not, right? We see it right here. Built synagogues and seminaries and adopted the Mishnah and Talmud. Okay? The Mishnah and Talmud. Don't forget that. If the 19th century scholars were doubtful about the conversion of the Khazar kingdom, today it is not in dispute. We see this, the spreading reached the Caucasus, Volga, Don, all of that, Russia. You know what I'm saying? That's really where these guys are from. Let's be real about this because, you know, you guys are murdering people in the name of the Most High, claiming to because you're supposedly Hebrews. I'm not going around, you know, doing that to people. I'm just saying this is what I found about myself. My DNA even puts me there. I'm not going around killing people because that's not our job. Anyways, let's go on to the next page. We're almost over this. 239. Let's continue with this. He says, now this is in regards to the writer Kostler. He wrote the book, The 13 Tribes. Let me read from there. It says, one of the impulses that prompted him to write The 13 Tribes was his determination to defeat, while he still could Hitler's heritage in the world, he wrote. Watch this. The large majority of surviving Jews in the world is of Eastern European, and thus perhaps mainly of Khazar origin.
Oh, that's gonna hurt.
If so, this would mean that their ancestors came not from the Jordan, but from the Volga, not from Canaan, which means the land that they stole, but from the Caucasus. So these guys are Chihuahuas, just in a lighter shade of brown. Oh my God.
Oh, that's gonna hurt.
Then it says you're once believed to be the cradle of an Aryan race, and genetically they are more closely related to the Han, Uighur, and Magyar tribes than the seed of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob.
Gotcha, bitch.
Should this turn out to be the case, then the term anti-Semitism would become void of meaning. I already proved it. can't call me anti-Semite because I'm a Semite. So, bam! Anyways, Kostler was not certain in the 1970s whether the non-Ashkenazi Jews were descendants of Judean, and if the case of conversion was an exception in the Jewish history. Nor did he understand that this battle against anti-Semitic racism might deal a mortal blow to Zionism's principal imagery. Very true. You're killing people in the name of God, supposedly of a heritage that is not yours. I'm aware of the danger that it may be maliciously misinterpreted as a denial of the state of Israel's right to exist. But that right is not based on hypothetical origin of the Jewish people. Then it says, nor on the mythological covenant of Abraham with God. It is based on the international law, an example in the United Nations decision in 1947. Whatever the Israeli citizens' racial origins and whatever illusions they entertain about them, their state exists de jure and de facto and cannot be undone except by genocide. So basically that, just like, what's his name? What's the guy's name? Chomsky. Based on today's society, he's a Jew no matter what. And you can't do nothing about it. Let's finish it off with this. At least look. Today, the descendants of the Jews of Yiddish land live mainly in the United States in Israel. You see now why there's so much push from this country over there? The remains of millions of others are buried beneath the slaughterhouse, blah, 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 whatever. Let me go back. Life lived in Yiddish land before the vicious massacre. Okay, let me go back. Second paragraph. Like the absence of costly archaeological explorations in southern Europe, Russia, and the Ukraine to uncover the remains of Khazaria, the absence of sociological, linguistic, and ethnographic studies about the long-standing ways of life in the tall nets of Poland and Lithuania. Here's my point here. It says here, no one wants to go looking under stones when venomous scorpions might be lurking beneath them. It's like, if you have something to hide, you're not going to go dig about it. You know what I'm saying? Waiting to attack the self-image of the existing ethnos, meaning the ethnicity, right? In its territorial ambition. Basically saying that you that are claiming to be somebody, you're not going to actually go up and look for certain things because you're too afraid of maybe a venomous scorpion biting your ass. It says here, on the contrary, right? It says waiting to attack the self-image of existing ethnicity and its territorial ambitions. The writings of national history is not seriously meant to uncover past civilizations. Its principal aim thus far has been the construction of a meta-entity and the political consolidation of the present. You see what I mean? Now, I invite you to read this book because it's very interesting. So now let's listen to this here real quick. And I put the translations. If they talk slow, I'll speed it up. If not, we'll continue to listen to it. All right, let's go.
Y hay un libro que se llama el Sefer Hasidim, tiene más de 1000 años. Sefer. Llegan, no, mami, son supersticiones, vamos a dejar.
¿Por superstición?
Claro, son cosas irracionales. No se hace eso, ¿no? Tipo, no.
Ok.
Me dijo, no se vuelve. Y bueno, yo siempre me reía de esas cosas, y tiene muchas, y hoy mi esposa también se ríe de esas cosas que mi mamá me enseñó, ¿no? Que todavía me quedan. Pero pasaron los años, fue estudiante de Yeshiva y demás, y hay un libro que se llama el Sefer Hasidim, tiene más de 1000 años. Sefer Hasidim. Son como...
Okay, so the first thing, you guys heard what he said, okay? There is a book called Sefer Hasidic, okay? In case you don't know what that is, let me just show you real quick, okay? Real quick explanation to Sefer Hasidic. The Sefer Hasidic is what I've shared with y'all in other classes. It's basically the Sifrat, okay? That's what it means. This is not biblical, family. Now, it is biblical in Revelations, but it's not something we're supposed to do. Now, that's why I brought that book out in regards to the conversion of certain people, because if it's not your book, you are going to dabble in a lot of different things that are not pertaining to. That's why the Bible in Deuteronomy, in Matthew, and in Revelation, it says, do not add or change anything. That's what it means, okay? Let's continue.
El libro de los hasídicos.
Claro, pero hasídico no es el movimiento hasídico del Shem Tov, sino es la persona más devota, la persona que quiere vivir una vida espiritual mayor o entregarse vocacionalmente mayor al...
¿Tiene que ver con la palabra Hesed o no?
No, tiene que ver con... no sé con qué palabra tiene que ver, pero tiene que ver con el sentido de quiere un desarrollo espiritual mucho más profundo.
Okay.
Y ahí
So what he's saying, in case you guys don't catch it, it says it here, a much more spiritual development. So what he's talking about is that for you to have a much more deeper understanding, you have to study the Kabbalah. In the Sephirot gives you that supposedly understanding. You see what I'm saying? This is not the Bible, family. This is not the Bible here. Let's continue.
tiene como una serie de reglas. Interesantemente, una de las reglas que es, si salís de tu casa, no vuelvas para atrás. No volver para atrás. Deja, o sea, te olvidaste de algo.
So, one of their supposedly deep understandings is when you leave the house, you don't come back. Supposedly. Let's continue. I'm telling you, man. I'm going to give you, and this is just the beginning. Watch, let's go.
Déjalo, no puedes volver a entrar a tu lugar.
Sodoma y Gomorra.
Increíble, no puedes volver. Ahora, pasó los años también, hay un rabino también querido en Uruguay, que es del movimiento de Lubavitch, y él me contó una anécdota, ¿no? Y él me dijo que un Hasid de Chabad se fue al aeropuerto, se suspendió el vuelo y tiene que volver. Y dice, pero el Hasid me dice que no se puede volver. Llamaron al Rebbe Lubavitch, ¿qué le decimos? El Rebbe Lubavitch le dijo, mira, es cierto, no se puede volver, pero...
He's basically talking about, in case you guys don't get it, he's saying that, he went on an airplane trip and he missed the plane. So now he has to ask the rabbi a question about, hey, well, since you have that whole concept, once we leave, we can't come back. What do I do? Listen to this.
Es un capítulo del libro de Tania, que una persona que estudia algo ya no sigue siendo la misma persona. Entonces, la que vuelve no es la misma persona que se fue, entonces no hay problema, puedes volver. O sea, te lo traigo esto como anécdota, ya que a veces tenemos esas cosas en el judaísmo,
Esas cosas tú sueles enseñarlas y explicarlas en tu canal que tienes.
Exacto, ¿no? Y los que quieran estudiar también, estudiamos mucho sobre lo que es la Kabbalah, lo que es el libro.
See that right there? He says we also do a lot of studying about the Kabbalah, okay? I didn't say it. He's saying it. Now let's continue. What else? I'm glad he's bringing it up.
Libro principalmente del Zohar, aparece mucho en el canal.
Now he mentions the Zohar. So let me just bring this up real quick so you guys don't get lost in the translation. Okay, we're going to look at the Zohar, right? The Zohar is a foundational book of the Kabbalistic studies. Splendors, radiance. It's a foundational work of Kabbalistic literature. All right, supposedly, it's the mystical aspect of the Torah. I don't know what the hell that means by that. But again, add and take away from here. I'll give you some scriptural stuff real quick because, hey, it's, you know what, it's right here. Look, oh man, thank you, Father. Thank you very much. Deuteronomy 4:2, ye shall not add to the word which I command you, and ye shall not take from it. Keep the commandments of the Lord our God, all that I command you this day. This, remember, we're talking about people that has converted in 700, 800. Well, there was other people converting, but this is when things really got wicked. Okay, look, the Babylonian Talmud, Kabbalistic, the Zohar, it's all connected. The Mishnah, the Talmud, the what's the other one? He'll probably mention it. All right, let's continue. Just want to give you an idea. Let's go.
Tú enseñas Kabbalah y enseñas mística en español, supongo,
Exacto.
Acá en Israel o en todo el mundo.
Sorry that I'm pausing, but listen, he said mysticism, okay? Check this out.
O sea que tú enseñas Kabbalah y enseñas mística en
So basically in your channel, you teach Kabbalah and you teach mysticism. Mysticism. What does mysticism mean? Mysticism meaning. It says the belief that it's possible to directly obtain truth or achieving communication with God or other forces controlling the universe by prayer and contemplation. Now, family, I've talked to you guys about this, and I've touched on this particular picture here. This is what happens when people do not have an understanding and they're spiritually wicked. The whole concept of the Trinity is the connection between the mind, the spirit, and the flesh. That is really the connection. The mind and the spirit are intertwined, or at least you could say connected, in battling through the flesh. The flesh is one of the actual connections that allow yourself to be tricked, or for example, if you believe in the Bible, this is what I'm saying. Why do you think in Mark 5, I believe, he takes these demons out of this gentleman, and there's a bunch of pigs, and these demons say, don't destroy me, throw us in the pigs. Now, you also understand that in other scriptures, it says, fear not him that can destroy the flesh, fear him that can destroy the flesh and the spirit. So in that case, you interpret that and like, okay, so these spirits did not want to be destroyed. So he said, let me go into that flesh. So when you start seeing the understanding of how the spirits move, the mind, how it works, and how Paul talks about the thorn in the flesh. I have this thing in me that wants to do evil. I don't want to do it, but I keep seeing it in front of me, and I keep slipping over it because I seem to battle with good and evil within me. What is that? The connection between the mind and the flesh and the also spirit. That's why it says, you that can harness your spirit, if you can govern your spirit, then you can subdue the understanding, or your own understanding, because it's the spirit that strengthens, not the mind. Keep that in mind. I might have gone deep on that, but the point being is that's why you see the whole Trinity BS. But anyways, where I'm going with this is kind of amazing, because we're talking about mysticism, right? Mysticism. I mean, this is a pretty heavy topic. The experience of mystical union, the belief of direct, like what does the scriptures talk about when you're dealing with mysticism and hidden truths and transformations and all that crap? Matter of fact, it even says it here in this translation, makes it easy. It says here, the Deuteronomy 18:10, don't sacrifice your children in the fire on your altars. Don't let your people practice divination or look for omens or use spells or charms. Mysticism, that's where it all falls in line, right? And then it says, and don't let them consult the spirit of the dead. Now, I'm going to tell you something. This Kabbalah stuff deals with that. Let's continue. I mean, this is the point. They're admitting it. I love the fact that they're admitting it, because it makes our job a lot easier for the brothers and sisters that are barely understanding who they are according to the Bible. Let's go.
En español, supongo, exacto. Acá en Israel o en todo el mundo, para todos los que quieran.
Exacto. Primero, tenemos muchos grupos que enseñamos vía hoy en día Zoom y enseñamos para todos lados. Tenemos muchísimas clases, y una particularmente que está en el canal de YouTube, me pueden buscar, MESHIACHA.
Y la superstición.
Y la superstición, volviendo a la superstición. Entonces,
now, what does the Bible say about superstition? Let's read it this way. There shall not be found among you any one of them that make your son or daughter pass through the fire, or to use divination, or observer of time, or enchanter, or a witch, or a charmer, or a charmer. A charmer. Divinations. Right? I mean, it's very clear that you're not supposed to do that. But again, it doesn't seem to be ignored by these so-called great scholars of the Torah, the so-called real Jews, the so-called, right? The self-styled, I say. Let's go.
No, y cuando era más chico me gustaba también ir al estadio a ver a Peñarol, obviamente, ¿no? Uruguay.
No, está también Nacional.
No, está Peñarol y está los demás.
¿Los judíos tienen un equipo particular o están mezclados?
Pienso que hoy en día ya no. Okay. La mayoría es Peñarol y lo del resto se divide ahí. No importa, ¿no? Para que no se enojen los demás. Y mi hermano se alegre también, ¿no? Pero, en fin, teníamos todo tipo de cábalas. Y los jugadores también, si ganan un partido, después vuelven, al mar que lo llaman cábala, ¿no? Sí. Vuelven por el mismo camino, por el mismo recorrido, comen lo mismo antes del partido.
You see this mysticism. It's like, if you go that route, you got to come back the same route. I don't know what you call it, man. There was something we called that in Spanish. I cannot recall. But this right here is like, it's like you don't actually believe in the Most High anymore. Like this mysticism concept, right? What scripture? I think I wrote it down. Yeah, that's it. They're saying, well, if you go that route, you got to make sure you come back that route, or it's like bad luck. It's like a bad omen or something, right? But scripturally speaking, what does it say? Proverbs 3:6, in all thy ways acknowledge him, and he shall direct thy path. So there's no like, oh, a lucky charm. You can't be a charmer because this is what a charmer is. Based on luck. Look, if you go this way, you come back that way, you won't get cursed. Listen, let's continue.
Se sientan en los mismos lugares, no cambia absolutamente nada. Es increíble.
Sí.
Ahora,
o sea que cuando dicen cábala, por la misma palabra cábala que nosotros conocemos como cábala.
Puede ser o puede ser por una superstición. La verdad que no sé el etimológico.
No, pero la palabra es la misma.
La palabra es la misma, es interesante.
La raíz es hebrea.
So Kabbalah or Kabal means superstition. The Bible says not to be that way. Let's continue. Again, don't add to the word. That's why I wanted to show you guys. Their own people told you, Shlomo, they were converts. Well, why do you think this is happening? Let's continue.
La verdad que es algo para investigar, pero quiero ahora explicar un poco qué es la palabra Kabbalah. ¿Qué significa Kabbalah? ¿Qué es esa parte mística del mundo judío? ¿No? Que todo el mundo hoy en día, más y más, y tenemos a Madonna que estudia Kabbalah, y tenemos otras personalidades que le interesa mucho el mundo místico judío. Esther, ahí va. Se llama Madonna, ¿no?
Tiene que ver
con las máscaras. En fin. Para hacerlo corto el cuento largo, nos enseñan los sabios que hay 4 sabios que entraron al huerto de la sabiduría. La palabra huerto en hebreo se llama pardes. Y significa, nos enseñan que es un acróstico de 4 palabras: Pei, Reish, Dalet y Samech. La Pei, la primera letra, significa Pshat, lo revelado. Uno va, lee y dice, bueno,
lo que se ve,
lo que está escrito.
Sí.
Jacob fue caminando y se encontró con Rachel, que estaba pastando todo lo del ganado de su padre.
No se entiende de otra manera.
Está simple, lo revelado. Después viene el remes, lo que está insinuado.
Sí.
No está escrito, pero yo lo entiendo. Por ejemplo,
interpretación.
Es lo que entiendo. Por ejemplo, si está escrito, Rachel estaba pastando todo el ganado de su padre, quiere decir que su padre no era un gran terrateniente. Porque una niña, ¿cuánto ganado puede tener?
Ok, entiendo.
Entonces, es un secreto. Si es algo que no se cuenta, porque si yo te lo cuento, deja de ser un secreto. Ya lo sabemos nosotros dos. Dice, el secreto de la Torah es saber que la Torah habla de vos. Que hay un lenguaje y una manifestación espiritual dentro de que te dice cómo ir creciendo, siendo mejor persona, evolucionando en la vida como pueblo, como persona, como humanidad, como todo. Pero habla cada uno individualmente. Dice, ¿cómo descodifico ese lenguaje? Y acá viene la palabra Kabbalah. Kabbalah viene del lenguaje de la palabra, de la raíz lekabel, que significa recibir. Pero para nosotros entender también el origen de las palabras, buscamos la primera vez que aparece en la Torah. La primera vez que aparece en la Torah aparece con el lenguaje de Makbil, que es algo paralelo.
Here, he's getting into some little details. Let me kind of get ahead because he's going to talk about particular traditions right around, I think right here. Let's go.
Y eso es un mekubal. Por eso están los que estudian la Kabbalah y están los que traen grandes enseñanzas.
Superstición.
Superstición.
2 horas de viaje.
Ahora, él quiere hablar cosas puntuales.
Superstition. He's like, what about the superstition? Let's get to the superstition. Okay, here we go, family. Right now it's going to get interesting because he's going to talk about certain things that are actually shown here. Hold on. There's this book I have. It's called The Secret Teachings of All Ages. I have a picture in here that I want to share with you, but I want to share with you when he speaks on it. This is very interesting that it's in this book. And it's very clear based on the information that we find that it's all based on Ensoft. And at the end of the day, they're worshiping Baphomet. Helena Blavatsky talked about that. You can't have the Talmud, the Kabbalah without the Baphomet. Seriously, or Freemasonry. Let's continue.
Como por ejemplo lo que se usa como amuletos, lo que se usa magia judía, brujería, todo ese tipo de cosas.
Hay gente que hace esas cosas.
Hay gente, y mira, lo que se usa como amuletos, lo que se usa magia judía.
You guys hear what he just said? They use amulets. What else?
Brujería.
Magic. Witchcraft. Wow, bro.
Wait a minute. Who are you?
I mean, if you just stay here, you're basically told the abominable practices. They should not be doing that, right? Deuteronomy 18:10. Aside from making your children go through the fire, or that use a divination, or observer of time, or an enchanter, or a witch, or a charmer, or a consulter of familiar spirits. This is not a joke, family. They're telling you what they're doing. Yeah. Oh, what's up, brother? What's up, man? I think the Kabbalah goes against Genesis creation from the get-go. That's why they get the type of being Bang Theory, not the Big Bang Theory nonsense. Creation started from the light or some horse shit like that. Yeah, for sure. That's actually true, bro. That is very, very true. That's a good point. I think what I'll do is I'll go into that topic in a class because we're kind of getting onto this point. We're halfway through this video. You're going to see, I'm going to show you something to that's going to solidify what they did. An old video I did that a lot of you guys missed. You guys didn't see it. And that's because of the name. I actually named it one way and it brought out a lot of stuff that related to this. So let's continue. Anyway, so let's go.
Y a todo ese tipo de
Hay
cosas.
gente que hace esas cosas.
Hay gente, mira, te estás apoyando en libros que te enseñan cómo hacer esas cosas.
Opa.
Tienes muchos.
He shows them the book. He goes, I have a book here that teaches them how to use many amulets. You know what I'm saying? Hey, what up? What up? One more. What's up, brother?
Wait a minute.
Oh, hold on. Wait a minute. Who are you? One more. What's up, bro? I need to have a little song beat for that shit. I think I'm gonna have to create one for you guys. You guys show up. I'll give you props. Anyway, so you see what's going on here. They created a book that teach amulets. This is why I claimed in my class earlier this week or last week that the knowledge of good and the tree of knowledge of good and evil was exactly that. Because the Kabbalah is technically the tree of knowledge. That's what they call it. And Baphomet is the God, in case you don't know. And this is why you're seeing a lot of these people pushing this doctrine of Atlantis, or this is the old world, because they're also Kabbalists themselves. Let's continue. Culomiados, what up?
Amuletos, muchos
¿En serio?
secretos.
Esto el judaísmo lo permite.
Lo permite, lo enseña.
¿Por qué tengo la sensación de que no está bien? ¿Por qué cuando yo veo
why do I have this sensation or this feeling that that's not good? Let's continue.
En la televisión que a una persona se le vende una bendición o un amuleto, no me pasa muy bien por la garganta?
Muy bien, muy bueno.
Disculpa.
Perfecto. Primero, antes que nada, porque no se vende.
Pero se da una donación.
Se da una donación, pero no tenés que darla donde, o sea, la persona la puede dar siempre donde quiera. Siempre eso.
It says it's not bad as long as you give it as a gift. If you don't sell it.
Libre. Okay. Cuando hacemos un intercambio, siempre hay un intercambio de energía. Pero antes de llegar al pago y todo ese tema, quiero hablarte antes de qué significa. Por ejemplo, un amuleto, yo estoy seguro que a tus hijos les deseas lo mejor, ¿cierto?
Sí.
Y 24 horas por día, 365 días al día.
Sí.
Ahora, pero estás haciendo los videos, estás haciendo, y no siempre estás consciente de eso, por más que es tu sentimiento diario, ¿correcto?
Sí.
Imagínate que en vez de eso nosotros agarramos...
No me hagas cargos de conciencia ahora.
Y lo escribimos en un papel o en determinadas formas, lo escribimos de una forma abreviada, para que tú lo puedas llevar contigo.
¿Qué escribimos?
See what I'm saying, family? They think wisdom of the world brings salvation. I forgot what it's named. Salvation from the enlightenment, wisdom, knowledge, humanity, which reach the stars. Yeah, it's a matter of fact, the class on the video I'm going to show next is pertaining to that. Check this out. This is interesting. He's talking about how, well, in the way that we use it in amulet, it's like if you know how you're always thinking of something or somebody or well-being of your family. Well, if you write it down on a piece of paper and you put in a little thing and you give it to them or you carry it around, that's where you kind of bless that person with that. That's like having the fucking cross. How is that any different than people that have the cross in their necklace? How is that any different than somebody walking around with a rabbit's foot? Do you see where this is going? This is a rabbi teaching on YouTube this stuff, and people don't realize that they're learning Kabbalah stuff. Let's continue.
ese pedido, que tus hijos estén sanos, que tus hijos
ok.
vayan bien
Ok.
y demás. ¿Y qué hacemos? Lo escribimos en un papelito.
Sí.
Y ese papelito lo llevas contigo constantemente unido a ti.
Ok.
Es como si estuvieses rezando y pidiendo todo el día eso. Eso es un amuleto en el judaísmo. En el judaísmo
J-ism, that's an amulet. You can write down the well-being. It's like, oh, I love you, babe. Write it down, put it in a little necklace. Oh my God, my love goes with you. How is that not wicked as hell? Here, hold up. I mean, you can't get any more wicked than that, bro. Oh, damn. I don't know what that was about. So I was like, oh, damn, they disconnected the line. It was funny. Check this out, family. Let me give you guys some scriptures real quick. See this one. I haven't seen this in a long time. It says Isaiah 15. What is Isaiah 15? No, it's not the right one. Because there's not a verse in there. Interesting. 1 Samuel 28, 6-9. Let me see if I can find this one. I'm trying to look for one that man, I thought I wrote it down. Anyways, I thought I wrote it down. I kind of wanted to show you something else, but you look, it's to me, isn't that the same thing? Like a charm? For example, if you look up the word charm, right? I'll show you real quick. Charm, amulet. That's what it is. Look. How is this any different than Christianity? See? Un talismán. Charms. You see this? How is this any different than other religions? Anyways, let's continue. Let's continue. We're almost done with this video.
El judaísmo lo que utiliza es agarrar distintas palabras, distintas frases, distintas brajot, bendiciones que usaban nuestros sabios ya en la Torá, en el Tanaj, Tfilot. Por ejemplo, una de las Tfilot más conocidas es la Tfilá que hace la mamá de Shmuel por su hijo.
Sí.
Esa es la primera Tfilá.
Se pensaron que estaba borracho.
Exacto. Con el y no fue cerca. Exacto. No sé si conocen el cuento, pero la mamá de Shmuel no podía tener hijos. Haná. Y ella va donde estaba el tabernáculo, que estaba en la ciudad de Shiloh, en el asentamiento de Shiloh, que queda acá cerca a propósito.
Y lloraba en la entrada.
Y no, se acercó directo, ¿no? Y viene el profeta Elías. ¿Qué haces? ¿Por qué? De ella aprendemos mucho al margen, ¿no? Que es una mujer que nos dejó muchísimas enseñanzas. ¿Vive? Obviamente hay técnicas, nos enseñan los sabios que mejor si usamos nombres sagrados, nombres divinos. ¿Qué son los nombres divinos? Podríamos hacer otra charla. Nombres de ángeles, como los vemos en la Torá, lo vemos en el Tanaj, lo vemos en distintas literatura. Y utilizamos todos esos nombres para que ese pedido llegue al cielo y se pueda manifestar en la tierra. Eso es un amuleto. Eso es una kamea, lo que se llama. Sí. Tengo aquí uno de los libros del Rav Kaduri. El Rav Kaduri es uno de los...
Pay attention to this. Here it goes right here, okay? Check it out.
Sejón Librajá, ¿no? Uno de los... se lo llamaba el anciano cabalista, de su gran sabiduría, también por su edad. El grande de la generación, ¿no? En el cual las personas iban y pedían, y realmente veían cosas. Y si te fijas en lo que escribía, era distintas formas de pedir o de generar que se forme un pedido para que se pueda manifestar esa necesidad que se estaba teniendo. Todo, cuando nosotros tenemos una necesidad, lo que estamos generando es un espacio para que pueda caer esa luz en el mundo. Ya sea hoy en día la paz, ya sea hoy la necesidad de comer, ya sea el bienestar de nuestros hijos. Y lo que queremos hacer es que eso nos acompañe constantemente.
Y eso tiene fuerza. Y eso tiene energía.
Y eso tiene energía. Y eso es lo que nos enseña el judaísmo. Que todo lo que uno hace, en todo momento, genera y plasma una energía. El hablar bien o el hablar mal.
You see this now? Do you understand the whole concept of self? The Kabbalah teaches you are your own creator. That's how you connect with the Most High. You connect with him, you create, you manifest. That's the whole teaching. The emerald tablets thought they're trying to make him like the Mashiach now. They want to claim that he was Quetzalcoatl. Idiots. But anyways, that's beside point. Now he's gonna get into this dude and what he get. Now you guys saw the earlier drawings, right? Let's look at this again because I'm gonna show you in this video. I'm gonna show why he was doing that. Okay, let's go.
Generación, ¿no? En el cual las personas iban
And also in the video, I'm gonna also prove that BHI's Big Daddy Kane was a pillar of this. Look, you see, oh, there it goes right there. You see that right there? That is what I wanted to show you. So in this book here of Manly Hall, we see the same thing. The emblematic hands of mysteries. This is from Manly P. Hall. The book is called The Secret Teachings of All Ages. Got a bunch of stuff in here, but I'm going to let the video show you. It says a hand covered with numerous symbols was extended to the neophytes when they entered into the temple of wisdom. At an understanding of the embossed upon the surface of the hand brought with it divine power and regeneration. Once more, or therefore, by means of these symbolic hands, the candidate was said to have been raised from the dead. So listen to this, and I'm going to continue reading a little bit more. Watch.
Y pedían, y realmente veían cosas. Y si te fijas en lo que escribía, era distintas formas de pedir o de generar que se forme.
That right there is a big piece of this puzzle. Again, in this channel, I'm going after both Revelation 2:9 and Revelation 3:9. And I constantly point out who those two people are. And now you're going to see in the video coming up who uses this. It's two of the same people working together. One finances movies, the other one's like to act it. Where do you think the whole concept of Willie Lynch letter came from? Why do you think they used it in a movie who was financed by these very same people and acted by the other Revelation 3:9s? Let's continue.
Un pedido para que se pueda manifestar esa necesidad que se estaba teniendo. Todo.
See that right there? So he says it's a request. So it says the emblematic hands of mysteries. Right? An old manuscript appears in the statement of the Freemasonic order was formed by alchemists. This is from alchemy, the teachings of thought. Okay? Do not get it twisted. It says here, protect their secret. Hold on a second. Alchemists and hermetic philosophers who had banded themselves together to protect their secrets against the infamous methods used by avaricious persons to wring from them the secrets of gold making. You see what I mean? Now, when they're talking about gold making, they're not talking about spiritual fire, physical. So anyways, this is where you see that concept, the table of wisdom, understanding embossed, surface in the hands brought with divine power and regeneration, right? Divine power, in this case, they were praying for it. Let's continue.
Cuando nosotros tenemos una necesidad, lo que estamos generando es un espacio para que pueda caer esa luz en el mundo. Ya sea hoy en día la paz, ya sea en día hoy la necesidad de comer, ya sea el bienestar de nuestros hijos. Y lo que queremos hacer es que eso nos acompañe constantemente.
Y eso tiene fuerza.
Y eso tiene energía. Y eso tiene energía. Y eso es lo que nos enseña el judaísmo. Que todo lo
that has power. You didn't exactly say that? They said exactly the same thing right here. An understanding of embossed upon the surface of the hand brought with him it divine power. He says energy, but it's the same shit. Tomato. Cilantro. Let's go.
Y lo que queremos hacer es que eso nos acompañe constantemente.
Y eso tiene fuerza.
Y eso tiene
energía.
Y eso tiene energía. Y eso es lo que nos enseña el judaísmo. Que todo lo que uno hace, en todo momento, genera y plasma una energía. El hablar bien o el hablar mal. Hasta el hablar mal, por ejemplo, está la gran mitzvah de la Shonará. De poder, el no hablar mal en las personas. Dice que tiene importancia. Dice el Talmud. Y cuando uno habla mal de una persona, hay tres.
You see? Have you guys noticed that do they have the Bible in their hands at all? Out of all those books, there's no Bible. But tons of Talmudic documents, tons of Kabbalistic books with a bunch of philosophies, theories, illuminary ideologies, how to manifest or use or take advantage of amulets, basically power and magic, how can I say this? How to control demons. I mean, let's just be frank.
¿Qué se afecta? ¿El que habla mal? Sí. ¿El que escucha que habla mal? Y la tercera persona. Sí, ¿pero qué tiene? O sea, hablamos, son palabras. No, las palabras tienen energía. Las palabras tienen
potencia, coja.
Para bien y para mal. Dice el Rav Kook que nosotros pedimos todo el tiempo por la redención y por la resucitación de los muertos. Y se dice bien el Rav Kook que dice...
You see that? What did he just say? It's for the outcome of the dead, right? He says for the resurrection. Check this out.
Para bien y para mal. Dice el Rav Kook que nosotros pedimos todo el tiempo por la redención y por la resucitación de los muertos.
The redemption and for the outcome of the dead. What did it say right there? Once again, an understanding of the embossed upon the surface of the hand brought within divine powers and regeneration. Redemption of the dead. Let's continue.
Y se dice bien el Rav Kook que dice, no pienses muy lejos. Simplemente cuando vos ves a una persona que está triste o que está mal y venís y le levantás el ánimo, eso es la resurrección de los muertos. Le diste vida, lo llenaste nuevamente, le diste una alegría. O sea, no hay que pensar, bueno, dentro de cuando venga el Mashiach o algo. No, hoy tenés que trabajar. Hoy tenés que hacer y plasmar y cambiar el mundo para que sea algo mejor. Entonces lo que nosotros hacemos es generar esas fuerzas o esas energías o intentar plasmar el...
See how he's talking? To generate those forces, those energies. Right? Right. Hey, the Khazar has a whole library of bullshit. Hold on a second. I can always get at the end. Come on.
Fuck that puto.
My mom listened to the channel one time. She's like, you said that? I was like, no, Mom, that was the button. I accidentally hit it. Anyways, let's continue.
Ese pedido en la realidad, ya sea con un rezo, ya sea escribiéndolo, ya sea haciendo otro tipo de cosas que traigan y muevan otros tipos de energías. Y eso es en resumen, hay mucho más.
De la superstición.
De la superstición hay que, antes que nada, como te empecé con el cuento de mi mamá, no pensar que todo es sin lógica. Hay cosas que tienen lógica, pero hay que estudiarlas y hay que entenderlas. Entonces, yo lo que te digo es, cuando nos dicen hay cosas que no hay que hacer, es como decir, yo no creo en las brujas, pero que las hay.
Sí.
Es como en el judaísmo nos dicen, nosotros estamos acá y lo que vemos es un revestimiento del mundo espiritual. Detrás de las cosas nos enseñan los cabalistas que no hay que ni siquiera patear una piedra, que una hojita tiene un ángel arriba que le dice que crezca. Y cuando uno viene y corta una hojita también está haciendo un daño espiritualmente en el mundo. Y no sabemos qué es lo que está haciendo, pero simplemente una hojita.
Now you understand where they're all going with this, like, ignorance. Let's listen to this right here. Check this out. Positive and negative energy. All right, let's go.
Nos mueven a nosotros y nos generan sensaciones y nos generan actos.
I say this. These are their kings. These are their well-known versed people of the fucking doctrine. Y'all are the worst people to give any understanding. Even your Talmud doesn't give an understanding. Because your Talmud confuses you. What are you talking about? You have a bunch of dumbass rabbis that can't even wipe their fucking ass talking about shit about, well, I mean, I agree with him, but I don't agree with that. Bro, listen, all your rabbis are pedos. All your rabbis don't wipe their ass. All your rabbis don't wash their ass. Listen, remind that shit to your people. This is the inside talk. Your rabbis smell like ass. Most of them wear diapers. Most of them don't even fucking wipe their fucking shit off their culo way. Why should we believe people like you anymore? We done, man. We done. You guys infiltrated Argentina. Matter of fact, I'll advise you to a movie so you can actually see what I'm talking about. It's called Operation Final. Operation Finale. And it shows exactly how nasty, bloody it had to be to get rid of these Khazars, bro. And we're going to have to do this. We have to get rid of these Khazars. This is the only way. They're infiltrating in our people. They're lying about who we are. You guys are not the Jews. Do you understand this shit? Or does somebody have to remind you? Or should I say Gaza? Is that hurtful?
Nos generan impulsos que eso puede traer consecuencias positivas o negativas. Entonces, hay cosas que no sabemos por qué, pero si las hacemos nos puede traer buenas vibraciones.
O al revés.
O al revés. Y solo antes de también...
Do you hear that? There's things that we can do. And if we do those good things, it will bring us good vibrations. Does that sound like, I don't know, God? No. It sounds like individualism. Continue.
Y antes de, yo sé que sos una persona muy ocupada y tiene muchas cosas, quiero solo tocar un tema de Purim. Pues ya que estamos llegando, que es la fiesta de la salvación.
It gets into some of the little religious shit. Anyways, so let me see if I can get this out the way. So let me get over this here. Okay. Before we continue with this video, I want to share this with you guys first. I've shared this before. This is actually a good point because now... And by the way, they took this video off from YouTube, okay? We can touch on it a little bit. I want to speed it up. We can segue into the video because it's really talking about a lot of different practices, okay? Again, practices. Remember what the concept is. Kabbalah. This is what they do. This is what they believe in. These were converts. Y'all know exactly why we're showing these things. Somebody has a heritage, somebody's lying. And somebody has a heritage that they don't even know about. And what we're trying to figure out is, who are those people? Let's go.
Established and thousands of new laws formulated. There, the same Pharisees who killed Jesus Christ remained the undisputed rulers of Judaism.
In Babylon, the Pharisees codified their oral traditions into the Babylonian Talmud, the written form of that oral tradition which Jesus so bitterly rebuked. The Talmud reveals how deep was Israel's apostasy. The Talmud also helps us understand the basis for Christ's unflattering descriptions of the Pharisees.
Jesus described the Pharisees as hypocrites, children of hell, blind guides, whited sepulchres, full of dead men's bones. He even described the Pharisees as children of their father the devil, a murderer from the beginning. The Talmud confirms Christ's words. In the Talmud, in Treatise Sanhedrin, an extensive passage describes the right of the Pharisee to kill anyone, just as long as he did so indirectly. As one of dozens of examples, the Talmud tells us that if one bound his neighbor and he died of starvation, he is not liable to execution. In such an indirect manner, the Pharisees also killed Christ. Manipulating the Romans to actually wield a spear and sword, the Pharisees claimed, as their descendants do today, that since the Romans were the direct cause of the death of Christ, it is the Romans, not the Jews, who are guilty. Christ also called the Pharisees adulterers, an adulterous generation. The Talmud provides generous loopholes for adultery. It says the penalty for adultery does not include sex with a minor, the wife of a minor, or the wife of a heathen. The Talmud also encourages seduction of unwed adolescent girls called designated bondmaids. But it's important how such rapes are performed. With the designated bondmaid, one is guilty only in the case of natural connection, but not in the case of perverse connection. The Pharisees reasoned that rape in a perverted manner is outside the jurisdiction of the law. Normal rape, however, was punishable. In Babylon, sexual perversion of every kind had been a way of life for millenniums. The Pharisees were deeply influenced by such practices.
In 3 of the major treatises of the Talmud are found extensive passages which give legal endorsement to seduce and marry 3-year-old baby girls. In fact, many of the greatest rabbis of the Talmud, including Simeon ben Yochai, upheld this privilege. Today in Israel, thousands of Jews go to Meron every year to venerate the memory of Simeon ben Yochai, one of the most respected rabbis in the history of Judaism.
In one of dozens of endorsements of child sex, Simeon ben Yochai said, "A proselyte under the age of 3 years and a day is permitted to marry a priest." Agreeing with Ben Yohai, the great Rabbah said, when a grown-up man has intercourse with a little girl, it is nothing. Or when the girl is less than this, 3 years and a day, it is as if one put the finger into the eye. The footnote to this passage says, as tears come to the eye again and again, so does virginity come back to the little girl under 3 years. The same section confirms that sexual activity with small boys is in the same category. The intercourse of a small boy is not regarded as a sexual act. In addition to adulterers, Christ, in the story of the Good Samaritan, portrayed the Pharisees as racial bigots, too self-righteous to respond to the suffering of one who was not a Jew. It is true, because of the wickedness of the Canaanites, which included sodomy and infant sacrifice, Israel had been commanded by God to be harsh in her treatment of the inhabitants of land. God made it clear that the Canaanites were not simply to be avoided, but destroyed. By the time of the New Testament, this method of preserving God's kingdom by separation and the sword had become obsolete. God no longer made a racial difference between men.
But the Pharisees were unfazed by God's new agenda. The Talmud was finally...
So now you guys get an idea of what this is about, right? So check this out. I'm going to show you something. Because the point being is this. Witchcraft, Khazars, and serpents, right? A lot of us tend to miss the beat or tend to misunderstand. Or, you know, we just kind of want to label certain people and we don't really have a reason to. Well, I'm going to show you and express to you why, you know, this is important and you need to write this stuff down. You're going to start figuring out that this so-called teaching or these people that claim to be certain people, it's pretty wicked stuff what they do. And it's not just a matter of one or two. It takes a whole nation of people and culprits to push an agenda. You know what I'm saying? Like that's common. That's common. In case you guys forget. So check this out. I'm gonna play this with y'all. Okay, watch it. But what? Y'all are Christians or not? Are you Christians or not? But I'm gonna show you why they talk this way. Remember where they learned this from. Never forget. I showed you guys this book by Bishop Matthews, right? Where Sakar. Because you are enticed by your lust. Because a lot of you like lusting. They're giving you carnal food, and they're covering it up by saying, repent. I mean, then they say, well, you know, I mean, it's already written, so you know what I'm saying? Just be you. But what? Y'all are Christians or not? Are you Christians or not? But I'm gonna show you why they talk this way. Remember where they learned this from. Never forget. I showed you guys this book by Bishop Matthews, right? Where Sakari, ISUPK, IUIC, and GMS, and all these camps are all from. They can deny all they want. But guess what? When you look at them, you realize what a bunch of hypocrites. What a bunch of hypocrites. Because this is where this BHI doctrine came from. We're going to dissect this one, and we're going to look some other ones too. It's not the only one, but it relates a little bit. I showed you this book. Black Israelite by Crowledge. So there, I'm not going to read thoroughly. I've seen it, but I showed it to you guys before. But I want to point out some of these things. You see, this guy here, Pentecostal churches and its secret knowledge drawn from Freemasonry, Jewish Kabbalah, and African American conjuring. So it's talking about that the BHI's beginnings were of Freemasonry and Jewish Kabbalah and African American conjuring, meaning African stuff that you guys did over there. Now we know what this star is like. I mean, you guys can ignore it all you want, man. You can ignore it all you want, but I'm going to show you what this star is really meaning and the relationship to the star. It's borrowed from popular esoteric sources, would have included Freemasonry, spiritualism, spirits, Black nationalism, it's about being black and woolly, and African American versions of Orientalism. Very interesting. So, but that's not my point. We're seeing though that there's a history to this people, to this so-called Matthews that was teaching these people, because all of you who are so-called BHIs, you all come from this and don't deny it. You do. So now, if you say Christians are devils because they worship whatever, this and that, or they change the laws, okay, sounds good then. Well, guess who changed your stuff? You come from Kabbalist science and the hidden theology of Black Judaism. Where does this come from? It comes from here. Now, I've showed you guys other books, which is like the lost myth, the tribe, or the lost tribes of myth, and he actually talks about this. The commandment keepers, that's where they came from. One member of the commandment keepers. ISUPK knows this. IUIC knows this. GMS knows this. All the leaders of them camp leaders, they all came from this. Tell me I'm wrong. You're not. You will never tell me I'm wrong, because you can't. the 6th and 7th book of Moses? Are you serious? Why is that? Because it says here, Moses became identified with Hermes Trismegistus, the emerald tablets. Wait a minute, hold on a second here. So now I'm going to read this to you. Matthew's personal papers in Scumdom Library in New York included 2 amulets, of geometric design and Hebrew words borrowed in part from the 6th and 7th book of Moses. Okay, now. Is that in our book, so-called Bible? Old, New, and Old, Apocrypha, and New? No, it's not. And did they ever share this with y'all? No, they didn't. These amulets offer an unparalleled view into the hidden transcript in the private settings where Rabbi Matthews performed the more secret, transformative rituals at the hidden heart of Black Israelism. Let me read that for you to. Let me read that again, so people can hear it in the back. I like what that guy said that a long time ago. So people can hear it in the back. It says, these amulets offer an unparalleled view into the hidden transcript in the private settings where Rabbi Matthew performed the most secret, transformative rituals at the hidden heart of Black Israelism. So everything that you hear about Black Israelites comes from this. This is their root, okay? The square amulet in Matthew's personal paper was modified from the second temple of the Spirit of Fire, down on page 16 of the 16th and 7th book of Moses. What makes the derivation of Matthew's diagram from the de Laurence diagram indisputable is the fact that the de Laurence has produced a calligraphic error in the Hebrew that Matthews has repeated. The word at the bottom, haka'ak, meaning the power, has been miswritten. An errant vertical cross closes the gap. Look at that. What is that? Some kind of squared Hebrew diagram? What are you worshiping? In the middle letter, making it. I don't really want to get into it. I don't want to take too much time on this. Excuse me. It says here, let's see what else. There it goes. Look, it says here. The diagram consists of several Hebrew sentences printed over Magen David, literally a shield of David, or a 6-pointed star, which is common Kabbalist referent, man. So go watch that channel over there, bro. Go watch them. Enjoy yourselves. Enjoy that beautiful so-called wicked star. Enjoy it, man, because you're being led by spirits, and this is why it hasn't changed. These are the same people, just to tell you, because Christians will tell you, hey, being gay is cool. And, not the Republican ones, but, you go to church and they tell you, being gay is cool. It's okay. You can accept them, right? What's any different with that? Or, for example, you got these people in the streets now walking around with guns at camps. Yes, they have guns at camps, and they're telling them, well, we carry them in case somebody wants to get shot. But, I mean, I don't know, man. Maybe yo soy un lelo, you know what I mean? Maybe I don't know enough, I don't know. Maybe I like to keep things simple. But if I recall correctly, I remember something in Luke saying something like this. Okay, I'm just saying. Luke 9, and it says here, and he said unto them, take nothing for your journey, neither staves, meaning sticks or a stick, nor scrip, meaning nothing planned to, I'm going to teach them this way. No. Neither bread, neither money, neither have 2 coats apiece. And whatsoever house ye enter into, there abide, and there then depart. And whosoever will not receive you, when ye go out of the city, shake off the dust from your very feet for a testimony against them. No. But you know what? Sakari now, it's okay to carry guns. I don't know whether the camp is doing it, but that's the psychology. That's the spirits. But again, why are they acting that way? Because this is the root of them. This is the root of them. So the understanding that supposedly Nate, the dirty snake, has, or General Yohana has, or whatever you camp owner has on GMS, or whatever dumbass camp that you guys are listening to, that said that the end of the world within 2000, this is their root. Right here. This is their root. Jehovah? Oh, I'm going to show you what that means, bro. I'm going to show you what that means. Amulets, incantations. Matthew, God is even possible that through the ritual use of these amulets and incantations, Matthew believed himself able to unify the triune parts of the Pentecostal Godhead. God is the Father, he is the Son, and they meet via the medium of the 8th fire, the Holy Spirit. The Kabbalist diagrams that Matthew based his parts on the publications of De Laurence seems to have provided ritual blueprints for the embodiment of divine power in the manner consists with reputable reputedly Jewish. Didn't what's his name, the Sakari group? Didn't they say that they read the Talmud? You got time to study that, bro? It's very clear. So where are your sources? So your spirituality, where you guys come from, Black Israelism, was lived through secret spiritualist and Kabbalist rituals that taught openly through Masonic affiliates and Sunday school.